And with that, welcome to episode 45 of our pirate campaign. As a recap for everyone, the last we had your group, or heard of them, they were in a long-forgotten ruin beneath the cities, referred to as the Halls of the Drowned. That you were exploring with a group called the Mistwraiths, hunting the master of vampire assassins that had been making attempts on important people within the Halls of Honor in the city above, surrounding Port Lilith. You came across all sorts of undead creatures of different types and fought your way through before coming face to face with a vampiric sorceress who seemed quite displeased that you had crashed right into the middle of her experiments.
She was a bitch.
Okay. She was very displeased with a lot of you, and even more so displeased with the state her experiments got left in. You had some close calls, but managed to defeat her minions. In the midst of the battle, she, however, made her way out.
Yeah, coward.
Bitch and a coward.
But she's not getting away. She is Mug's prey now.
To be fair, I think it's a little late to say she's not getting away after she's gotten away.
Well, no, but you know what I mean. Mug will hunt her down because he's a mage hunter now.
Yeah, we now have a mage hunter actively hunting a mage.
Yes.
Someone has actually found their life's calling.
So it's basically Mug finding destiny.
Yep, pretty much.
So,
ooh, this can turn into the recurring character of the ticking crocodile for Mug.
Oh my god.
So, after the fights and after piecing yourselves back together somewhat, you did speak to the captain of the Mistwraiths, who had agreed to pay you the full reward regardless of the fact that the enemy leader had escaped, as it was quite clear that even the Mistwraiths were overmatched to begin with.
Wait, you mean outmatched?
Bit of both.
The time after has basically been spent gathering up what you can find. The Mistwraiths have been going through this laboratory and gathering out papers, searching the bodies for clues and that kind of thing, and gathering up their wounded and sending them above ground. Likewise, you as crew will have spent some time gathering up pretty much anything that's of value that's not nailed down. And Haldir is likely to have reminded you all that there is a giant map that he's carrying back to the ship.
Definitely. I need that map.
You can roll it up and put it into Mug's backpack, and he will just carry it without question.
It's large enough that you would have had to have basically strapped it behind Mug.
He wouldn't even notice, would he?
It would slow him down a bit. And I'm fairly certain that Haldir would want a couple of others making sure it didn't drag across the ground.
Uh-huh.
It's good training.
The...
Silas would ask Whisp for the dagger back.
It's probably covered in goo and stuff. Like, here you go.
Thank you. Silas pulls out this rag and just wraps that around his hand before grabbing hold of the dagger, and then he vigorously starts to clean the dagger before he puts it away.
Yeah.
And then
Try
the
war.
rag gets left behind.
Whisp is also likewise covered in a lot of like goo.
Mm.
You need a bath.
Thanks.
You tried bathing inside a monster. That doesn't help.
Wisp secretly going to herself, I'm going to get revenge on you, I'm going to murder you in your sleep.
So,
See, that's why he sleeps with a locked door.
Oh, like that would stop her.
Not fair.
above ground,
There's other plans though.
the rest of you will be making your way back from the mausoleum, and Alara is actually going to split off, and she will say to you all, I hope to see you all in the morning, but I must return to my accommodations. And she will head up with a couple of the mist wraiths back to the Elven halls.
And Mug is like, tell the girl that she'll be fine. We were totally beating all the bad people.
Alara's going to smile over her shoulder and give you a wave and go, I'll tell her all about your prowess, Mug.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know what that is, but it sounds impressive. You know how to talk, Alara. Thanks.
And now with them going, I feel like we should get back to the ship and get some rest. I'm exhausted.
See, now that's a plan.
You have absolutely no hassles getting back towards the ship. There's not many people out and about. The guards at the gates almost seem like they've been pre-warned, and they just open it up and let you through. One of them gives you all a weird look at the size of this massive tapestry that Mug's dragging, and a couple of you are sort of helping keep the tail end of it up. Like, it almost looks like a lot of you are dragging a log through the city.
I mean, Mug doesn't seem to mind at all. He's just like powering through, and I think it's the others like running after him, trying to stabilize it.
Haldir's definitely keeping a hand on it, and when some of the guards look at it, and just like, yeah, it's a map. Stop staring.
After a couple of seconds, as you sort of weave it through the gate, you hear a shout back, next time buy a smaller one.
Haldir makes some sort of rude gesture. He is tired. He wants this map back at the ship. They're being way too nosy and annoying.
Don't stab him yet. We need him still.
I don't think I've ever seen you so ballsy, Haldir.
Some of the crew are
that
up
was
and
good,
about on the
Haldir.
ships.
You tell them.
Some of the crew are up and about on the ships, and there is watchers as well as some gambling and drinking going on. I'm presuming you're carrying this map specifically back to the Batea.
Yeah, I feel like Monk would carry it on the ship, forget about it as soon as he as soon as he sees the like gambling and drinking and all that, and just starts going there to join. Like,
Mug, wait.
What is it, Haldir? Yeah, come on, you join as well. Let's drink.
No. The map. Let me just quickly get rid of this
right.
for you.
Where do you want me to put it? Like,
in my room. I think that's the only place there's gonna be room for it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you have a big room. Yeah, I can take it into your room. Let's go.
Thanks. Yeah. And just watch the top. There we go.
Oh yeah. It'll be fine. Don't worry. It's not that heavy.
No,
it's
but it's
big.
old and
It will survive. If it doesn't, we'll get you a new one.
I'm not sure another of these maps exist, Mug, but thanks for the thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we have enough gold now.
Technically, we don't have it yet. The gold.
It's not about the. Never mind. Thanks, Mug. I've got it from here. You can you can go out and drink and gamble.
Yeah, come on, Haldir, you come as well. Join us and sing for us. Play music.
It's so late. Fine.
You're not gonna say no, right? We're partying. We're celebrating our victory.
True. We do need to celebrate. You know,
Yeah.
just give me a moment to put the map over there, and then I'll be out with you.
Sure.
I'll like make sure the map is stable and secure before going out and celebrating how they murdered all of these undeads, slayers of undead. And there's definitely gonna be part of this song story celebration where Haldir tells the rest of the crew that Silas decided to blow himself up. I mean, it was a great move, but he did blow himself up. Very valiant.
It's a story to tell.
Yeah.
Mug is trying to demonstrate the whole explosion. Reenact it. Once he's starting to get a bit tipsy, like he's trying to reenact the explosion and how he defeated. I think Haldir has to translate for him because Mug is getting like tipsy, celebrating and all that, and just like he doesn't know how to talk about it anymore, so he's just trying to show everyone what he did and how he was beating the enemies.
Right. There's definitely gonna be stories told.
Yeah.
And how he decided to hold his new fancy sword and not let go when the previous owners tried to get it back.
Oh yeah, and Mug needs to show around his new sword. Like, Glenn, what did the twins think of the sword?
Both of the twins spend some time admiring it, and one of them looks across at Silas and goes, "Reckon we can get a couple more of these?"
When we encounter them, you'll get them from me. Wait, did I bring the other big weapons, the non-magical big weapons?
Yeah, you would have been able to basically gather up a couple of those and bring them.
Can I hand him one of those?
He's gonna take it, size it up, give it a couple of practice swings, and just give a very wide grin.
You're welcome.
Here's the mace from one of these, and I give it to the other twin.
Yes, now we can finally tell them apart. Because one is rolling a mace and the other a sword.
So they take their weapons and give them a couple of practice swings and grin and go, "Thanks for these."
Want to give him a test round? Hey, Mug, I got something for you.
Oh yeah. I think Mug is starting to get tipsy at the same time, though, but he's totally up for it.
Mug, do you want to fight them? And I just point at the twins.
Let's fight.
I think that's an excellent idea.
The twins
so
both look at each other, look
yeah.
at you, Mug, and then look at Silas and go, "Mug will both give you a drink if you punch the captain."
Oh.
Yeah, drink! And then Mug goes to punch Silas. Wait, that's two drinks. Two punches then.
Can I dodge those hits?
You can try to dodge, yes.
What do I roll for that? Is that just dexterity acrobatics?
No, I mean, isn't it technically that I make attack rolls on
Actually, yeah, you're doing an armed attack against his AC.
Yeah.
Because your dexterity already goes against on the AC.
Wouldn't I be able to specifically attempt to dodge though if they?
Well,
if he knows that the hits are coming,
but isn't that part of AC though?
If it was
Eh,
contested, it
see,
could be something else.
that's the argument I'm trying to make. Because if I'm using my dexterity acrobatics, that's definitely going to be higher than my AC.
Yeah, but then I'd be putting Mug with his might against you, which would be buffing as well.
Wait.
That's fair, but Mug also specified being tipsy.
So Mug is just making an unarmed attack.
We'll see what the roll is in this.
Okay, sorry.
That's right.
I'm going to roll it now. So just normal unarmed attack.
Yep.
I mean, it's not that high. It would be a stunt, but it's not that high, so it might not be a hit. Although Mug's unarmed melee is now a bit better. So... I mean, I'm not going to add aiming or charge or stuff like that because Mug is drinking, so he's not aiming, he's just punching.
Glenn?
Yep.
If this is on the ship before we sleep, I'm going to have to take my hit points down again, am I not?
No, we have already slept at the thingy
You'll
place.
be effectively sleeping after this, so you'll put your hit points.
I'm not healed yet, is the point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Because Silas did not sleep yet.
It's not a large roll, so
What's the roll?
it's actually quite small, so it's 13. But it's
So
just
if
a
it
hit.
matches my AC, what does that do?
So it's a perfect tie?
Yes.
So that's a hit? Or,
That will be a hit.
or not? Oh, okay. It's just about a hit. So you almost move out of the way. Oops. I mean,
Okay,
Mug is
roll
not
for
doing
damage.
lethal damage.
Roll for damage.
To be fair, it's also non-lethal because it's punching.
Yes, roll for damage.
Yeah. Also, is it magical damage though?
If it's a
because Mug's... But it's Mug's fist.
Isn't
the magic won't kick in.
No, the Mage Hunter only works on the magical bullets only works for bullets, right?
No. This is not bullets.
No, because there's something that the.
Oh yeah, he had the.
Yeah, he's got runes on his hands now. But it
Yeah.
also only affects stuff like magical creatures, not standard people.
Okay, cool.
For example,
so that's
the captain
eight points of
non-lethal
damage. I also have stunt points, but I don't think he necessarily needs to use them. No, actually, knock prone. Might as well use.
Yeah, that's fine.
Knock him on his ass.
How many hit points did you have before you healed up?
I was on 15.
Okay, so you're still
This
conscious.
brings me down to 7. I'm still conscious.
Yeah.
And that
But
means
you
I
were
get a chance
knocked
to
prone.
respond. I get a
Yes.
chance to respond, right?
Yes, but you were knocked prone.
I know.
Or is that a contested one?
Nope.
Nope.
That
No,
works.
you don't get to fight it.
Because it's a stunt, that works.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is the twins have turned around to Mug and said, "We'll both give you a beer if you punch the captain." Mug's just turned around and socked Silas and sent him flying.
So the twins are standing next to Mug, right?
They're standing fairly close to the two. Lot of you.
Silas is very upset after this night. Silas would pull out his blunderbuss and just shoot the 3 of them.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Talk about things escalating. I mean, it's a wild party, isn't it? Is it a 666?
No, but it's 6 stunt points.
Ah.
On my blunderbuss, I specified, right?
Yep.
Silas would also not aim because I feel like not going full in on this.
I don't think we have time for aiming.
Yeah, that.
Because, we're just like randomly shooting shit at this stage.
19 total to try and hit for all of them.
That's going to be hit for everyone. Yep.
And that will be an 8 by 2 cone for 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage.
Yep.
Okay.
Silas does then put away the blunderbuss again.
But is it going to damage all three of us?
Yeah, all three
Right,
will
12
take
points.
these. Yep.
But armor comes off it,
Armor
right?
comes off too.
Yeah, armor comes off.
Yeah, and the twins are also armored.
Yep. Are they armored on the ship right now?
Yeah, they're wearing their armor.
Okay.
Mug is like, but hey, I get 2 drinks. Silas, stop it! You're not getting my drinks. You're not stealing my drinks, fucking bastard.
Nobody, you can have your drinks.
The twins.
Yeah, you're not stealing them.
The twins are going to shout out to one of the, or one of the twins is going to shout out to one of the other crew after he sort of like picks himself up and sort of picks a couple of the pellets that's been shot into him out of an arm. And one of the other crew is going to come over with 2 drinks and hand them to Mug. And then the twin's going to walk up to you, Silas.
Yes.
And go, would have apologized, but then you shot us. And then he's going to walk past.
Silas is just going to shout after them. That's fair.
And with that, I think I'm going to bed. I think I can almost see the sun going up.
Wait, you're not drinking more. Like, have another
shit.
drink just before you sleep.
Oh no. The sun is almost coming up, which means that we are only going to have like a power nap before Olea or Verity comes waking us up.
But Haldir, have one more drink, just one more. And Mug is basically putting it into Haldir's face. Because he was singing so well.
Silas is going to return to his hut, and, like, lock the door behind him, and just go sleep.
Noted.
You know what, Mug? You deserve an extra drink for fighting so valiantly today. Here you go.
Yeah! Yeah, and Mug just chugs it down.
Great way of dispense of a drink.
So while this is all going on as well, Verity and Wisp, what are you guys doing?
Like washing the goop off.
I have no idea.
Noted. So
Also, Verity, we need to go pick up those hair clips tomorrow. And hope there's not a late fee. And get on with the rest of our shopping trip. That someone rudely interrupted.
Wait, who interrupted the shopping trip? That's me out of character asking.
You!
Wait, I did?
Because you sent Mug on a rampage and we were having lunch.
Oh, yes, but that was a good plan.
Sure.
It's step 5 in my 12 steps how to start a world war plan.
So, some time will pass and Wisp, you will clean off most of the goop. And the crew will start to quieten down. And eventually everyone will get some rest. Wisp, however, the second you jump into your bed, you do notice, firstly, that there is what appears to be a black powder everywhere. And then the sneezing starts.
The what, sorry?
The sneezing.
Oh, no.
As when you try to basically flick this off, a cloud of pepper rises into the air.
I would act that out, but I have to be a bit quiet. Right.
You eventually manage to clean it out enough to actually get some rest.
Oh, you better watch your back, you.
Hey, this was well-deserved payback.
So the important question is, for Verity, do you wake with the dawn?
Yes. I mean, before the dawn, preferably.
Verity needs to have time to wake up the clue, so she wakes up early so that she can wake the clue and be there at dawn.
So
I need to be there when dawn happens, so you know.
So what I'm going to say is, by and large, you will have gotten a couple of hours sleep, but at most, everyone who was out has probably
Yeah.
only managed to put together about 3 hours worth of sleep before
Yeah,
Verity is going to
I
wake
feel like
everyone up.
Glenn, is that enough
Mug.
to heal?
It will have been enough to heal because Alara
In-
will have been healing you with magic as well.
Yeah.
In that case, Silas will try and wake up like in time so that when Verity knocks, he can just instantly open the door and be dressed.
Okay, so important bit. Mug is sleeping on the deck, still drunk.
Yep. So Mug and a couple of
He's
the
like
other
slumped
sailors
on the
are slumped on the
yeah,
deck. There's like a couple of tankards lying around.
and they smell of booze. I'm so sorry.
So Verity,
Guy? Yeah.
even though you're exhausted, you will wake up at your accustomed time.
Yes, because anything else is unacceptable.
And a very familiar dragon is going to be curled up, basically underneath your hammock.
Oh.
Aw.
He won't even budge the second you move.
That's fine. You can sleep, sweetheart.
Oi!
It's a dragon! It's like...
I like the fact she's going to say this, step outside, and immediately start clanging a bell through the ship.
I
okay,
mean,
you can
yes, you
sleep.
can sleep.
It
And
will
then
wake the
I'm
dragon
trying to
anyway.
wake everyone up.
I mean, just everyone, basically. But, like, yeah.
So after about 3 hours, everyone's going to become groggily but painfully aware that there is the very familiar bell that Verity is banging going through the ship.
Just
indicating
because
that
we
it's-
only got 2 hours sleep doesn't mean we shouldn't get up for morning training.
I love you, but no.
Yeah, Mug is sleeping on the deck.
It's okay. We'll get to him last.
From one of the quarters, you actually hear one of the twins shout out after hearing Whisp going, that, but with a more of a fuck you vibe.
I mean, she won't like drag people out of bed,
Yeah.
but she will rudely awaken everybody, and then people will like the half that generally turn around.
Yeah.
But I think at this point it's like such standard that most of the people are just like, you know, that kind of thing when you're like the fire alarm goes off in your building like the 5th time this week, and you're just kind of like blink your eyes open and you turn around and fall back asleep, even though you're like, I might die, but this is fine.
Yeah. So the ones that are usually not showing up are still not showing up, and then the others, you do find a reasonable number of them up on deck. You also find Mug and about 5 of the crew just like sprawled on the planks. A couple of like bottles around them.
Yep.
Mug is literally cuddling one.
And
Aw.
also Mug is not responding to the bell.
Hmm.
He's
I'll
just
get
not getting
really
up.
close, like really close, and go ding.
Can
And
I
then
roll
I
to
will
see
take
if
like
he
10
wakes up?
steps back, like really quickly.
Mug, yes. Roll a constitution. What's it off the top of my head?
Drinking?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, drinking, carousing.
oh,
And we'll see how well
So-
you've actually handled the booze.
yeah, okay. I guess 2 for drinking. Okay,
Yep.
so this is only 14. So I think this is when Mug got piss drunk, because he usually handles it a lot better.
So, Mug, you're going to hear this in like start to wake up. And although you've been drinking very heavily the night before, this is not going to give you like a resounding headache or anything from being overdrunk.
Oh, okay. So can Mug go back to sleep after it, or
Yeah, he can if he wants.
okay?
But
Okay,
basically, it does wake you up a little bit.
Okay. So for a moment he was like, what? And
Morning
it's
training.
morning. Yeah, morning. And he
Training.
goes back to sleep.
I will like repeatedly like go over there, ding, take like 10 steps back and be like, morning training. And then like he falls back asleep and I go back, ding, morning training. He's like basically trying to push the snooze button, but it's not even 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So Mug is like moderately hungover as well. So he doesn't have a bad headache. He's just very tired. Okay. What will he do? So I mean, yeah. I think he might eventually get up and just like get a hold of Verity, take her up and start shaking her. Stop it!
But Mugs, you're responsible for morning training.
Okay, you know how we are going to train, and Mug takes hold of the bell and then throws it overboard. We are going to fetch it.
But you owe me a new bell.
Doesn't have low motion.
No, it means the training is that we go and find the bell.
What, including you? Last one to find it has to buy drinks.
So one of the crew is just gonna look over the side, look back at Mug, look over the side, look at one of the others going, we're gonna need some rope.
How far down is it exactly?
From where you are, about 30 meters.
Yup, that's gonna
Good training,
require
right?
rope.
Like sand or water.
I mean,
Sand.
also not to mention the fact that I assume the things are moving. Like the ships are moving.
No, we're still docked.
No, we are in
Oh, we're docked?
Yeah,
Then
you're
that's
still
fine.
docked.
Yeah, we are docked.
So
We're
basically,
still docked, but there's no water at this dock. Water was unique at the dock that we were at previously, I believe.
yep.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, it's not
Into
like
that
Mug
stuff,
took
that's
it
why I
into the
asked.
water or of a moving ship. So he wasn't like that mean. It was more like throwing it off. So Verity can't ring it
basically,
anymore.
Mug, you've picked it up and just yeeted it off the side, and
Yeah.
it's gone clanging off into the distance, and then gone silent after a little bit as it's hit sand. The
Yeah,
where
it
you are on
probably
the
wouldn't have
docks,
broken either because
Yeah.
it hit the sand. So.
where you are on the docks is basically stone piers that sort of jut out from the city over the sands, and the ships tie up to them. But beneath is just sort of sand dunes going out into the desert.
Yeah. So it would actually be pretty tricky to go down there, right?
Yeah, so basically what you're going to have to do is climb down from the dock via rope.
Yeah.
And then travel on foot from the sand.
Yeah. To be honest, it's a pretty fun exercise. Given the fact that like Mug was half asleep, he did think of a pretty good one.
So the crew are going to look at Verity. It's like,
Well, go get it then.
Oh.
they shrug and then they head off onto the dock and start gathering up ropes, tying them up to parts of the dock, and then tossing the ropes off the side, and then basically shimmying on down.
Oh, the things they have to put up with at this place.
At least they're getting paid well.
Yeah, pretty well.
After a short while, you hear a shout, and one of them picks up the bell and sort of starts clanging it down out in the sands before they make their way back and start the process of like climbing back up to the dock.
I imagine we'll see a very excited Verity as the bell starts sounding again.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, at some point the dawn will
yeah.
actually also happen, in which case she needs to do that thing, but you know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Monk has gone off to eat breakfast and get coffee, and wake up properly. And then he will be ready for morning training.
The chefs will have actually gotten up with the bell and just started prepping food. They've gotten into the routine of using Verity as like, oh, we need to start prepping food now.
Angry people are going to come in.
You're welcome. People don't appreciate the work I do.
Aww. It's okay, we made a fun exercise out of it.
The crew on the ship has never been in better shape, I'm just saying.
That's true. Haldir has just been inside of his room and have a pillow over his head because of the keep dinging at Mug. Just...
Yeah.
Now, usually they've stopped by now.
The by this point, the dawn is definitely starting to kick in. The sun is starting to come up.
I start doing my the more chill exercises of greeting the sun and singing and shit.
Yeah, some crew are joining in with the exercises. One or two have actually started to remember the words from like the various songs, and seem to.
I mean,
it's
been some weeks.
Yeah, you're not certain whether they're just doing it out of reflex or whether they're actually trying to take an effort or not. You're not certain at this stage.
No, but the important part is that they're here and they're trying. Also, I got vinegar and like all the vinegar dishes and all the flies are over there. And I'm very happy. Also, I deserve like 1,000,000 adult points for actually going to my neighbors and talking to them and asking.
Well done. So you actually got it from the neighbors. Well done.
Yes, I mean, I still don't have any, so not really an option. But you know, it's there, and I'm very happy. And none of them are over here, and that makes me very
Good to hear.
Mm.
So, does anyone have anything they want to do apart from the morning exercises to kick off with?
Oh.
I guess to start the day, no. Silas will just join the morning exercises and then go enjoy a good breakfast.
When Haldir wakes up, he finds the table he usually has and the chair, and then sits out in front on the ship and borrows the bell and rings it a couple of times. Like, come and get your pay.
As soon as you mention the magic word pay, the crew that are there literally just immediately drop what they're doing and rush on over. Some of them are literally carrying bits around the ship and don't even stop to put it down. They just drop it.
Haldir is sitting there and basically using his flute as like a whipping stick if anyone goes out of line, like back in line. You ain't getting paid faster because of you're disturbing me.
Silas will go and stand behind Haldir for a while.
So, very, very quickly, like an orderly line gets formed up on the frigate.
And the crew is getting 9 gold and 41 silver.
Oh my gosh, that's quite a lot, isn't it?
The twins are getting 14.
Whew.
The second you pay out to the twins, they both look at each other and go, bloody hell, should have taken this job up earlier.
Well, it's been good so far. Let's hope it keeps going this way.
One of
And
them is going to look over at you and go, "We sat through a siege for about a quarter of this," and then they walk off.
Shares are good. And all the PCs get 18 gold, 8 silver, and 3 copper.
Wait, 18 gold, 8 silver, and 3 coppers, you said?
Correct.
Adding that now. Because I desperately need it. After a while, and collecting his own pay, of course, Silas will walk towards the dock. And he'll skip breakfast for this. He'll actually start walking off and just shouting to Haldir, "I'll be right back."
Sure you will.
Oh, wait. So we get 18 gold.
All PCs gain 18 gold, 8 silver, and 3 copper.
Oh my god. I have to use my calculator for this. I said 8 silver, 18 gold, 8 silver. Why can't I leave?
1883.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
All good.
Ignore me.
Oh, good.
How many silvers is a gold?
Where's my
10.
conversion table?
It's
okay.
basically 1 gold is 10 silver or 100 copper.
I mean, it's not like Mug can count this anyway.
Nope.
Is it 100 copper or 10 copper?
Yeah, it's well, the way you put it now, Glenn.
Yep.
It's 1 gold is 10 silver pieces, which is the same as 10 copper pieces. So there should be 1 0 after 10 for copper pieces.
Yeah.
So 100 copper pieces is 1 gold. So it's
Yeah.
So there's 10 between each step.
Ah, okay,
That's fine.
okay.
I just copy pasted
Yeah.
that off something and it appeared to have a
Yeah.
typo.
So I was thinking Mug would look like exactly as happy getting 18 golds than getting 600 gold. Both of them are a lot to him. So when Haldir is done paying out people, Mug is like, so Haldir, we got a lot of money now, right? I've been
Yes,
thinking,
you did.
yeah, some people have like nice armor. Do you think I have enough money to buy armor?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Mog, we will find the best armor in the town for you.
Oh, really? I have money for the best armor. Yeah, I want to buy it.
Yeah.
Because I have a good sword now, and like I need good armor as well because I mean this one is getting a bit old now.
Is this sort of two-hander for Mug?
The sword, it's a bested sword. It's a glowing bested sword.
Yeah, which
So
is
you can.
it's a hand and a half.
Okay, so technically Mug could also invest in a shield if Mug wanted.
Yes.
If he wanted to, he could. I mean, he has not thought about this fact, but if you tell him, his brain is going to explode because he just thought about armor.
Am I still on the ship, or did I leave to do my thing? I left, right?
You've left already.
Yeah, I think you left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Silas won't mention anything.
Yep. Also, I don't remember if Mug's got weapon and shield talent yet.
No,
if
I don't
not, that's
think
like next level up kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he has shield. But yeah, and I think he only has medium armor at the moment. And novice in armor training.
Wait, don't you standard get like the stuff needed to wear a shield as a warrior?
I'm not sure.
Anyone
I
can
don't
use a
see it
shield,
listed.
but you only get +1 unless you've got the weapon and shield talent.
Oh yeah.
So if you get the weapon
I
and
feel
shield
like I
talent,
should
you
level
get a
up in.
+3. So
Yeah, I should probably level up in armor training anyway. Next one.
So, yeah, Mug, you can get very excited about actually shopping for armor. Haldir, you will recall that there is places that you've walked past when you were going into the markets the first time that you're fairly certain do provide services for.
I mean, I did already sell some quality leather for armors.
Yep.
Earlier in this town,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty sure I have a good idea where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, after all the money I've been given out, it's like, okay, let me just get this table back into my room and we can go shopping. And get you a fine new piece of armor.
Yeah. I can't believe I now have enough money to buy armor. Like, I don't have to hold it off dead people. This is going to be awesome.
Mug, you want me to take care of your money?
I mean, it's kind of heavy, Haldir. I'm not sure you can carry it all around. Because Mog has been constantly carrying the 600 gold.
Yeah, and I think when Haldir realized, like, Mug, you've been carrying all your money on you all the time?
Isn't that what people do? Are you saying that's not normal?
I mean, some people do that.
I mean, it's starting to be like quite weighty, but you know, I'm strong. I could probably carry like even more, like a couple more handfuls.
Right.
Yeah.
Mug, help me with the table, and then in my room, I'm gonna do a quick count of how much money you have, so I can know which type of armor we can get you. Sounds good?
Yeah, that's great because you know I have so much that I mean I don't know how many piles it is. It is more than one pile, I think.
Right. So Haldir is gonna start counting Mug's money and figure out how rich Mug
and
actually
Mug is like
is.
taking money out of like all sorts of random pockets and like on places where you don't expect money all stuffed into like really stupid places. Oh yeah, and he's like, yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about this one and this one, yeah, and this money, yeah. There's even more, and Mug is like stripping down.
When Mug is done, Haldir is just speechless, looking at the pile of gold in front of him, like.
It was just specified it's 2 piles at least.
I mean, if you try to
size.
make it one pile, it's going to be difficult.
What I will say is that he's got so much that the original payment that he had been given in a chest that he's been carrying in his backpack can't fit all the gold, so he's had to make do with like putting it into pouches and stuff.
Mug is practically made of gold at this point, just because all of the pouches filled with gold coins.
Yeah, I feel like this was some of the extra armor under his armor.
Yes, spending money on armor will possibly make Mug less armored because the gold is gone.
The thought does cross your mind, Haldir, that you could steal some of Bingo's socks, put coins in them, tie them together, and give them to Mug as a new weapon.
That would work best with silver coins, I guess, to fight werewolves.
Yeah, and the Mug is like, oh, I kind of forgot there was this much of this.
You know what? Maybe we can even find a magical armor for you.
Oh really? Yeah. So is that going to be glowing like my sword? I think I want a glowing armor like my sword, so it goes with the sword.
Well, let's go have a look, shall we?
Yeah. Okay. So what's the final number? Is it large or extra large?
How much money does Mug actually have?
So at this stage, it's pretty much so it's 644 gold.
Mug, you have over 3 times as much money as I have.
Yeah. Okay, so I have 3 more golds than you. I mean, I'm
Mug,
richer than
Mug,
you.
if I look at this pile, right?
Yeah.
I'm now gonna make this into 3 piles.
Yeah. I have 3 piles of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 1 pile that size.
Yeah.
So we
yeah.
can give you a really nice armor.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Haldir, are you sad you don't have as much gold as me?
I'm fine. That if I had that much money, I think I'd be afraid being robbed. I know you are not afraid of being robbed.
He also doesn't look the part. Like, Mug doesn't look like someone who is rich. I mean, until now. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, wait, Haldir. Are you saying there are going to be more people fighting me if I have all this money than if I get good armor? Because I was thinking
Big
that if I
mistake.
get good
Big
armor,
mistake.
if I get good armor, then more people will attack me because I will look like a good opponent. But now that you're
Exactly.
saying, yeah,
No. We need to use this money to make you look like you have a lot of money. So that means
yeah,
you need a really good armor, a really cool one, so
yeah,
people can see
yeah,
how much money you have.
yeah, yeah. I don't care about the money, but if it makes more people fight me, yeah, sign me up for it.
I will definitely give you armor and maybe some new clothes as well that make you look real rich, so people will try and fight you.
Yeah, but it also needs to be good for fighting. So
Of
I don't
course, of
want,
course.
yeah, yeah. I don't want stuff that rips, like flimsy fabrics. Because they tried doing that once in the pits, like dressing this up, and it got ripped so fast. They were wasting all that fabric, and it was bad.
Mm-hmm. Haldir is just grinning with the possibility of how much armor he can put Mug in. And how
Mug
expensive
is just gonna
it's.
be our juggernaut.
Can we at some point pledge him to be an official knight?
So,
So yeah.
what I will say is Silas has head off first, and he's heading up towards the rich part of town and the halls of honor on some errands. Mug and Haldir, after Haldir has finished counting all his money and trying to
Took a
figure
while.
out how to put it back into a carryable
Yeah.
format. Basically, you figure out that the easiest way is to put most of it into the chest that it was originally in, and the rest into a sack, which you then give to Mug. Is anyone else planning on wandering off into the market district? I believe both Verity and Wisp also had plans in that direction too.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
Has Verity got her bell back yet?
Yes.
Yep. So, what I will say is that as a group, you lot make your way up to the market districts with your particular destinations in mind. And Silas is going to walk up to the Hall of Honor.
Yeah.
And when he gets there, the guards open up the doors and let him in, recognizing him on sight.
I take off my hat and give him a bow.
These guards salute as you come in.
Okay. I'll just walk on in then, and go and find the person I'm looking for.
Yep. So you basically find the first servant that you see walking around and ask after the captain that you first met, or any of his superiors, relaying that they had made promises to you that you'd like to follow up on. The servant points you down a corridor that branches off to the left in the building, and gives you directions. And when you arrive, you walk through a large double door into a room that is set up with a couple of tables around and maps. There are elves in uniform, either moving small figurines on these tables that seem to be denoting ships and other items. You get a very good sense that this is a war room of some sort. And one of the officers looks up to you and seems to immediately, like, you see his recognition flash in his eyes, and he turns and leaves the conversation he's having and comes to approach you.
I'll salute him as he walks towards me.
He nods and goes, "I believe you were the captain that we owe the safety of one of our ships to."
Yes, we did bring in safely. We did safely bring in the ship, and there is some news that I shared with. What was his name for the leader of this area, Glenn?
Let me.
Or his rank? That's also allowed.
Basically, it's a lord in charge.
Okay, so Silas will explain how he mentioned what he found out to the Lord in charge, and that it was imperative that at least this information got to the people who decided how to defend this area.
The officer nods and gestures off in the general loose direction of one of the maps and says, "We must thank you for providing that information. We have already begun setting our plans as to how to utilize it. I believe my captain also put in a good word as to you were interested in some designs of Jinareth vessels, I believe."
Amongst other things, that was one of the rewards we talked about.
I can provide you with some academic papers on our vessels, but as you may well understand, there will be some information omitted for security purposes, if that is perfectly fine.
That's completely understandable. For me, it's all about improving my own ship, so it's not necessarily about improving the or gaining information that will be used against you, but it's very understandable that you're careful.
Well, I'm glad you see it that way. There's many that would like to get our technology and utilize it for their own gains. And then he's going to...
I can't say I'm not interested, but he says that with a sort of semi-smirk.
The officer's just going to smile and go, "There is always going to be interest in our advances, but with things as they are, I'm certain that only a fool would be willing to give all their secrets. That said, we can provide something for you." He's going to gesture, and what looks like a much more junior officer is going to come forward with sort of a couple of bound books and scrolls, and they're just going to hold this out to you. And the officer says, "I gathered up what materials we had here, but as you understand, we're a frontier outpost out here, so we don't have access to the libraries that we do back in Jinareth. That said, you'll probably find a great deal in here that's of use to you."
So these would mostly be repair manuals. Out of character is that question.
So from what you will see what your character can see immediately, and what they will get from looking through the documents, it will be a couple of diagrams, and the books would be like more descriptive, but they wouldn't be like full-blown diagrams of a ship.
Yeah, it's more diagrams of how they solved particular issues.
Yep.
Okay, that would be perfect. Silas would ask, can I copy notes from these, or are these copies that I can take to my ship?
The officer's just going to smile and go, "We discovered that these are surplus, so you're more than welcome to borrow them for any length of time."
That would be amazing. If I were to pay for them, would you mind if I add them to my library? They will be very well guarded.
Well, after last night's events, which we have been informed of by the Miss Wraith Captain herself, you're more than welcome to have them without charge.
Thank you very much.
That said, believe that she was looking for you and your crew at some point this morning.
Where would I be able to find her?
He's going to sort of look back towards the doors and then just go a little quieter. It's like, last I heard, probably involved in that large argument in the main hall.
Ah, I'll
I see.
I'll see if it's too much intruding if I were to see if they have time to handle what she was looking for me for. Any advice before I end?
The officer's just going to think slightly and go, "Well, you're already in the Lord's good graces, so I believe he might very much welcome an interruption."
Good. That said, there's one last question.
Always happy to be of service to a friend of Jinareth.
Can I note that down? Like, Silas just notes down being called a friend of Jinareth because that's something that Haldir will enjoy. And then he goes, I also talked with the Lord about improving my weaponry and how I could use the assistance of either an enchanter or someone who helps work the more magical oriented gear, that maybe they can help me at least improve some things of mine.
The Navy unfortunately doesn't have those kinds of services at hand, but I believe that the Lord's Ward herself may have some ideas of who would be best to assist you on that.
Out of character, the Lord's Ward would be the little girl.
Yep.
Or the... Okay. In that case, I'm going to seek them out afterwards as well. So with that, Silas just goes, "Thank you very much for your assistance. If you ever need something, you know where to find me, right?"
We do indeed.
And with that, I sort of give a bow. Can I perhaps try to make these official-looking dudes contact?
You can make the attempt.
That would be communication and then either leadership or etiquette, I guess.
Yep. Etiquette here.
Ooh, I stand a chance. 6 plus 5 plus 4. Oh. Plus 4 communication, plus 2 from the thing is 21 total.
21 total?
Yes.
The captain's going to, or the officer, I should say, is going to smile at you when you do mention that they will know where to find you. And he seems to think for a bit and goes, "In these times, it's always useful to have a freelance captain on side. I hope you're not adverse to rendering services for us in the near future if we have need."
my crew and mine are willing to help uh, if it is accompanied with pay as generous as we've come to expect from you guys. And he just smirks.
He's just going to nod and go, "We'll keep that in mind, good captain. If we have tasks that come up in the near future, we will send them your way, as long as you're in port."
Of course, you can always send them to the ship, address them to me, and I'll find them.
We'll keep that in mind. Likewise, if you're in port, we may seek us out and we may have tasks at hand if you are in need of funds going forward.
That sounds like an excellent deal. And he just smiles and then goes, well, I have a lord to save from arguments, I heard.
Good luck with that.
Do you have any idea who he's arguing with?
The officer's going to dismiss the junior officer who's handed the stuff over, and then he's going to glance back at you and say, "It's not a question of who he's arguing with, but who he isn't." It's a little crowded in there.
Huh, okay. Thank you.
And as you head out back towards the main halls, you actually do start to hear the shouting, and there is a lot of voices. And I will jump back to the others who have just embarked on their shopping trip at this stage. Starting with Verity and Wisp, I believe you were going to rush and pick some stuff up.
Yes. The hair clips.
Hair clips. I have zero memory of hair clips. Well, I remember hair clips. I just don't remember what the hair clips did. Was the hair clips the thing that gave us the thing so we can unlock locks?
Yes.
Yes.
We have the modified.
Okay, sweet.
Yes,
You
these
do
were the
remember.
These were the custom jewelry lockpick sets, I believe.
I remember very well getting the bracelet.
Oh, good.
I remember that part. I just don't remember the thing. But
190 gold.
So,
I know it was super expensive, and I still feel guilty about it. Like out of character.
so you make your way.
Oh no, don't. I think it's funny as hell.
You make your way back to the shop, and you see that once again the market district is full of people. It seems a little bit quieter than the previous day, and there are some people that sort of, especially around some of the taverns, sort of stick their head out to have a look at the surrounding streets and then quietly duck back in or head about their business. There's also a larger presence of soldiers on the streets.
I mean, we're not actually wanted for anything this time, right? So we can just walk around.
The soldiers don't
Again?
be paying any attention to you.
I'm just like, I'm used to like be like, wait, do we have to hide for these? No, I don't think so, right?
Did you bring
Yeah.
Fen with you, or is Fen still sleeping on the ship? That's probably going to wake up at any moment and then like go looking for you.
I think I left Fen on the ship, so that's gonna be interesting.
Oh. Okay. Let's
I
try
mean, he
and
was
get...
sleeping.
Yeah, but he's also a baby dragon.
He's smart. Mostly.
So
I did not think this through.
Oh boy.
It's basically your intelligent shape-shifting dragon puppy
Yeah.
that you left behind.
I'm sure he'll have a great time playing with the twins or something.
So-
He'll be fine.
after about
Maybe.
15,
And
20
now we have to
minutes,
replace the twins in our crew as well because they're eaten by a dragon.
Just small nibbling, hardly eating.
It's only the left arm. They're right-handed anyway.
It's fine. They don't need both.
Fen. Or do they not know him as a dog?
to be fair,
Very-
I don't think any of them have seen it.
Alright, okay.
No, we've definitely seen it.
The
I
twins?
remember this being.
When?
I think we had a bit.
Did
where
Verity
he was
not just
being
show up in the
introduced.
tunnel with a dragon?
Yeah.
So technically no one on
She-
the ship should...
There's no one on the ship that knows we have a dragon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Currently.
Do you want to run back?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Right, let's try and get the shopping done as fast as possible, eh?
I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Fen finds the kitchen. Kitchen finds Fen.
I mean, that is a good point. Fine.
So, after some walking, you've pretty much almost gotten to the front door of the shop by the time this realization has come, and you've been discussing this on the way. Do you actually turn back, or?
Are you sure we can't just get it since we're here?
I mean, yeah. But then we need to come back, because I have, like, a wee list.
Okay, yeah, let's do
I'm
that.
sure nothing can happen in half an hour. It'll be fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's not like you can infinitely turn into different things and enjoy tricking people or anything. I mean, it'll be fine. Yeah.
So, you open the door, and the elderly woman who was in there when you first purchased stuff is still waiting at the counter. Looks like she's packaging orders of some sort, just quietly working, and she hears the bell and looks up and goes, "Ah, you're back. To collect your order, I believe?"
Yes, please.
She makes her way out the back. You hear shuffling and movement, and she very quickly returns with the items and puts them basically a pair of not super decorated boxes, but reasonably decorated boxes, which she then opens and reveals the hairpins.
Nice.
See that, like, the lockpicks come out and stuff like that.
Yep. So she shows you how to like trigger the hidden releases on them.
Nice. I spent some time, like, doing wisps here to put the hairpin in, so she looks very fancy.
Oh, you Verity, because Wisp hates being fancy.
But you look so pretty. I mean,
That's
you
the
look
point, when you're pretty,
but
people
now
look
you
at you.
even prettier. Verity is very happily running around, holding your hand and being like, "Yep."
What's the damage, ma'am?
So the shopkeep quotes the amount that we originally quoted, which
Which was what?
vaguely
Nice.
I
remember.
don't remember any of this.
Did not note it down,
800
no.
gold, I believe.
No!
18 gold, 8 silver, and 3 copper.
I will double check that for you, and then pop your messages just to save pulling random numbers. It has been a great many sessions since we actually quoted those numbers at you, so from memory, they will be within your realm of payment. So
Yeah, it should be.
I don't
It
think
wasn't
Wisp
that
would have,
bad, I remember.
Yeah.
I don't think Wisp would have agreed if it's not within the realm of payment.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it was before you got paid. So the
So it was at most 500 gold then.
Shush.
so she will accept your payment.
Mug is absolutely going to blow that much, at least, I'm thinking.
And
Sorry.
put the boxes, presuming that you're not still wearing the hairpins, into a small bag that she then holds out to you.
Keep the hairpin on.
Noted. She's just
So we are going to be running.
she is going to give you a conspiratorial wink and just go, "It looks absolutely fetching on you, darling."
Thank you.
Wisp seems very happy with her fancy, very fancy and beautiful hairpin.
Oh, it's lovely.
As you step out of the shop,
They look so pretty.
you will notice across the street and further down, Haldir has led Mug into it's almost a half shop, half shed. The front of it is opened right up, and you can see that there is armor and weapons, some of it on racks out in display. And a small halfling in a massive leather apron and with tools on a belt in front of him is hawking his wares.
We'll go fetch Fan.
Sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
So
3, 2, 1, run.
So the two of you just
Starts
bolt.
running, still holding Wisp's hand.
So you start heading off back to the ship. Mug, you and Haldir approach this shop, and the halfling turns to the two of you and goes, "Weapons for either you? Armor for you, noble lord?" And he's going to look directly at Haldir when he says that.
Haldir is gonna give him a big smile and say, "Not for me, for my fellow here. He needs a distinct upgrade."
Yeah, look, I got a great sword. I mean, it's not a great sword, but it's a great sword. And Mug is holding up his bastard sword that's glowing, and he's like, I want great armor, like this great sword, but it's not a great sword. It's a bastard, I think.
The halfling approaches and sort of looks at the workmanship on the sword and goes, "Never seen this kind of workmanship here."
Yeah, it's pretty neat, right? And Mug is just like swinging it around just to show the glow properly.
At one point, the halfling ducks just as the blow comes a little too close to comfort, and he's watching the entire time, sort of swaying and following its movement. He goes, "Balance is good. Weight, well, on the heavy side, but acceptable."
Voudrian make, I believe.
The second you say that, he looks at Mug, looks at the weapon, looks back at you, and his mouth drops open and goes, "And where in all the hells did you get a Voudrian blade in this city?"
Why,
I
from the
think we
dead
went to
hands
this-
of a vampire.
No, well,
But that's
no.
that's a whole nother story.
The second you
No,
say the word
Haldir.
vampire, his face goes white.
Haldir, we went to the sewers. We got it from the sewers. I just picked it up there. I didn't actually get it out of the hands of anyone. Stop telling things that's not true. We went to the sewers and I found it there. Someone tried to take it away, but I didn't let them take it away.
Correct.
But I just picked it up after I picked up this hammer. Look at this hammer. Isn't this hammer nice? And Mug is like handing over the hammer he picked up.
The halfling looks at the hammer, at the sword, directly into your face, Mug, and then he turns to Haldir and goes, "I'll cut to the chase. I don't want to know where you picked these weapons up. I don't think I should know where you picked these up."
Correct. Haldir is just smiling. Oh, right. He probably can't see that because Haldir has once again covered his face. He's still not entirely sure about this whole thing, but his eyes are just
Yeah.
gleeful.
So
Out of character, what was the name Haldir used in here?
Sylph.
Yep.
Okay.
Is Haldir using a different name? Because Mokuba was just calling him Haldir.
Yeah, and Haldir has not bothered to correct Mug.
It's difficult correcting Mug on these kind of things.
The halfling is going to turn around and go, right. So, armor and equipment for this one. Anything for you, good sir?
I doubt you have what I might want to be looking for. But I'll have a look around while you help my dear fellow here.
He looks back at Mug and goes, right, sizing you for armor. This is going to be fun. And then he pulls out basically a long, thin strip of cord that seems to be tied off at equal lengths. And he starts using it to measure up Mug, like basically his arms, his shoulder length around him. And he just starts shouting out numbers. And from up the back of the shop, you just hear like them being repeated back by an old scratchy voice.
It's his grandma.
Oh yeah, I did want to ask, like, this hammer is kind of small for me. Do you want it? And Mug is like asking the goblin if the goblin wants that like weird
Halfling,
magical
yeah.
weapon. Halfling. If he wants that weird magical hammer that he has.
He's going to glance. He's going to glance at it and go, "Did you get it from the same place as the sword?"
Almost. It was in the sewers.
Between you
Yes,
and me,
he
probably
did.
safer that you keep it.
Okay. Sure.
He's then going to turn around and go, I think we got a few things that we can convert to your size. Give me a moment. And then he's going to rush on out the back, and he's going to come out with some different pieces of equipment that he's going to lay out on a table. So he's got different leather armors, he's got chainmails that he puts out, and then he starts gathering up, or trying to gather up pieces of plate, which he puts out, but he's basically having to grab different pieces from different sets.
Because Mug is not the right size.
Yeah. You kind of get the drift that he's like gathering up plate mail that was probably designed for halflings, and he gets to the point of the breastplate and just sort of shakes his head and goes, wanders around going, there's not a single halfling in the city fat enough to... he just...
Is he calling Mug fat? In front of Mug?
In comparison to a halfling. You're fairly certain... in size, Haldir, you would probably be able to see this on site, that it would... Mug is about the size of 3 halflings strapped together.
Yeah, just a bit of a size difference. Here's an interesting question, though. While Haldir is looking over some of these different armors, does he find anything with what he would recognize as arcane markings on it?
You don't see too many pieces that would have anything arcane. You do see 1 or 2 that seem to have symbols that you recognize as representing spirits, but they seem to be more ceremonial than having been enchanted with anything. But you're fairly certain if they did have anything that was actually magical, they wouldn't just have it out on display near the front of the shop.
Yeah. I think while he's looking at finding the different armors, Haldir looks him over, like, So, Mug, are you thinking a lot of plate, making it as strong as you?
No, I have enough food on my plate. But okay, I can use more food on my plate.
No. Here, plate, and he picks up one of the like heavy plates, like this.
Oh,
The
Can you
halfling-
eat off this one?
The second you say that, the halfling's jaw sort of drops open, then shuts, and you see him like try to formulate a few words before he just sort of sighs and goes, "Oh, it's going to be one of these ones."
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I don't really know, Haldir. Like, I know that I have 3 big piles of money, but like, which one of these can my money buy?
Don't worry about that, Mug. For now, just tell me what you want, and then we'll figure it out afterward.
Oh, okay, that's exciting. I don't know. I'm not. So you put all this metal on, right? I think I've like seen some people wear like lots of metal. Is that Haldir? Is that a cool thing to do? Am I going to look cool if I wear all that?
Well, you did see some of the knights, right? They're having a lot of armor on.
Yeah,
Stuff like
but
this.
hmm. Well, I have an important question. Like, how difficult does like the metal going to make punching people? You know, if I want to get into a good pub brawl, like, am I going to be like hindered because of all this metal on me?
The halfling sort of points at the heavier bits of plate and says, "To be fair, I've not seen anyone run very fast in that. But if you're looking for a respectable middle ground," he picks up a heavy piece of mail. Basically, it's like layers of mail on top of each other. And he holds it up and goes, "This offers a safe middle ground. Lots of protection and still plenty of movement. And if you need to get in anywhere in a hurry or need to lose a bit of weight for whatever reason, you can easily get out of this. It just pulls on, pulls off."
Yeah, that sounds easy to me.
Well, Mug, the thing is, do you really need to run very fast in a bar fight?
No, I don't need to run fast. I just need to like get to places. But yeah, it's more about, am I going to be able to punch people in it?
You'll definitely be able to punch a person.
To be fair, isn't a big metal glove much better for punching people?
I mean, that's what Haldir's thinking, but he haven't said it straight out. Maybe he should, but for now, he is.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I
we
mean,
don't do
he could
subtleties
say
with
it.
Mug because that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. But no, with this on, like, you could definitely punch some people with it. The problem is if they try running
Yeah.
away, then it's gonna be heavy on you, so you can't chase them down.
Hmm.
But that's when you have
But
your gun, right?
Yeah, I have a gun as well. Yeah, but you know what I'm thinking? If I'm wearing a lot of armor, that means I'm carrying lots of stuff, and that's basically training, right? Because then I'm going to get stronger the more armor I wear.
Yes.
Oh shit! Is that the Goku training thing?
Yeah.
That is definitely true, Mug. If you wear a lot of armor, you'll be real strong because you have to wear it all the time.
Okay, shopkeeper, you know what? Like, pile on as much as you can.
He just looks at Mug and then slowly turns to Haldir and goes, "So a custom order of heavy plate for this gentleman, I believe. Is that correct?"
Correct. And also, if you have some enhancements that can be made for it.
He's going to look back at Mug, look back at you and go, "We can make some adjustments. The best we can actually do, unfortunately, is to make it a little less restrictive."
No
Yeah,
extra
so
benefits, huh? Well,
yeah,
less restrictive is good.
what Haldir was saying is that can you make it glowy like my sword? Look, my sword is glowing. And Mug is showing off how his magical sword is glowing.
So you show the sword, and you hear noise from the back of the shop, and a tapping noise, and a very, very elderly male elf comes forward, with spectacles on, leaning on a cane, and he just leans forward so his nose is nearly touching the blade, and he just sort of slowly raises and lowers his head, sort of almost like he's reading it. Goes, keenness, strength, well made. Dark thing, that, however. And he's gonna step away from it, and he's going to squint at you, Haldir, and goes, there's not that many in this region that can provide heavier enhancements, but I can do my best to, well, once my good comrade here has created the piece, I can make it lighter and easier to use.
Yeah, so basically it will glow, right?
He's just going to smile and go, yes, lad, there will be some glowing on it.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Oh
Haldir.
fuck,
Because
that's gonna be bad for stealth.
Well, you heard the dwarf. Oh, and also, and Haldir writes a rune for one of the spirits, and you put this one on as well.
He looks at it and nods and goes, that we can do.
Also, if so, we're doing like special armor, right? You're making it yourself, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're making the armor for you, Mug.
Yeah. Okay. Look at my fists. Like, aren't these like tattoos amazing? Like, I want them on the armor as well, so people can see.
The elderly elf leans forward, and his eyes widen slightly at the marks, and then he looks you dead in the eyes and goes, we will of course do that as well, my lord. And then he steps back.
Oh no!
I think Mug is confused and looks at Haldir if they were talking to Haldir.
Haldir gives a small shrug, and then, so how long will this job takes? I imagine it's gonna take a while.
The elf just glances back down at the halfling, who goes and looks at the pieces that are currently on the table and says, do you need it all uniform, or can I have a bit of license?
I don't know what uniform is, but I don't need to look the same as like other people, right? So it's fine.
Yeah, and I think it would fit you, Mug, if it had, different angles, looking a bit different. Reminds you of the old days where you just had a bit of everything on.
Yeah.
He grins and goes, well, for that I can shave a day or two off for you. And then he's going to gather up a couple of pieces from the table and turn around and go, to be fair, the main bit I need to rework is the breastplate, so I can have that done by tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Come by tomorrow night, just before close.
Tomorrow night. Wonderful.
That's exciting.
See, Mug, you're getting a whole new armor just for you.
The elderly elf starts tallying up some numbers. It's like, and would you like to know the price of this, my lord?
Yes. How much is this armor gonna cost us?
Yeah. How many piles of gold?
For the custom armor work and for the special editions, that will be a grand total of 10 gold.
What?
Yep. And Haldir just nods like, mm-hmm. And then he
10. Wait, it's 10 piles, Haldir. We don't have 10 piles.
no Mog.
We only have 3 piles of gold.
No Mog.
10 is a lot.
That
Look. See here, Mog. I'm just gonna look in your bag for a moment, right? And then he opens the bag and takes out a handful, and then gives 10 gold pieces.
The elderly elf takes it, counts it, and goes, "Your commission will be ready tomorrow night."
Wonderful.
The halfling gathers up the pieces he's collected and puts them aside, and he's just started measuring a couple of them as if he's about to start prepping to reconfigure them. And then he shouts out the back, and 2 young halfling boys come rushing out, and they start gathering up iron and ingots and other materials to put near a forge. And one of them basically jumps up and grabs onto the top of the bellows, and hanging off it, drags it down to the ground, and then jumps, and then just hangs on. Just repeating that process until the forge starts to roar to life.
Oh. Nice.
Well,
yeah.
If it works, it works.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, you get the feeling that they've done this drill a million times, that they're kind of used to it.
Yeah.
Before leaving, Haldir walks over to the elderly elf and in a low voice asks him, "So, do you have some colleagues that may have items like spellstones and the like?"
The elf laughs, almost to the point of actually starting a hacking cough before he brings himself back under control, and goes, "If the Academy had bothered to bless this place with anything like that, it would be appreciated. But what you're after, if you're willing to pay the price, there's a foreign merchant in the market, and he gives you directions to an area. It's not on the main market strip, it's further into the district, sort of halfway between where that broken grate and the main market is." And he says, "Small shop out the back of a warehouse there. They're able to provide some things like that when they have them on hand."
Yeah, I'm sure that it's gonna cost me an arm and a leg.
Well, it's a lot cheaper than going all the way back to Genereth and knocking on the door of the Academy.
Oh, don't worry, Haldir. I still have lots of piles of money.
Yes, you do, Mug. Yes, you have, and so do I. I have a bit as well. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go have a look and see how much they trying to rob me in broad daylight.
The elf just chuckles again and goes, "Take the dwarf, he might intimidate them."
He's good at that. Come on, Mug.
Yeah, let's go. I'm really excited.
And as you wander off and head down in the direction that you've been guided, I'm going to jump back to Silas.
So I march into the main hall.
Basically, The guards see you coming, and one of them sort of half steps forward, recognizes you, looks behind him, and grins, and just steps to the side.
I don't like that grin.
Oh boy.
Silas just
Oh
smiles
boy.
and then starts walking towards the main hall.
So you walk on up to the massive double doors that go into the Great Hall, and you can now clearly hear a shouting match going on.
Ooh, I like those.
The guards throw the doors open, and you find yourself walking in. The Lord is standing in front of his throne, and you could almost see a vein twitching on his temple. Before him is a couple of familiar faces. In blue is blue cloth outfit is the Shayak diplomat, and he is in the middle of a tirade against the orc general, who is basically arms crossed,
Oh,
deadpan,
it's my friend.
glaring
it's my
at
friend.
them. Yeah. Standing up next to the Lord is the Mistwraith captain and Alara.
I salute them from the back.
Alara just looks over the top of you, top of this argument at you, and you just see a smirk cross her face. The Shayak doesn't even break stride. He doesn't even glance in your direction as you storm on in. And he turns to face the Lord and says, "My lord, I cannot agree to these terms. You were risking all trade with the Shayak nation over this trivial detail."
I just listen in for a second to find out what trivial detail they're talking about.
The orc simply chuckles and looks back up at the Lord and goes, "And it truly is trivial, so I don't believe there is any issue in the item being given to us. It is, after all, rightfully the property of Haldir."
Which item are we talking about?
Dude literally just piped that up.
Yes, as I walk up to the front to take my place next to the Lord, because I want to talk to the Lord. I'm just gonna go ahead.
The Shayak's mouth opens for a second, and then he just glares at the Lord and goes, "Can you not even keep riffraff from the street striding into your own halls?"
It's at that point that Silas just smirks and shows the signet ring that he still wears.
So the signet being a Bicard ring, I believe.
Specifically of House Begatal back when we were the ruling caste.
The diplomat's eyes widen as if he recognizes it. And then he turns and walks across to a small group of other Shayak, just completely disregarding everyone in the room, and immediately starts talking to them in very, very hushed tones.
It's at that point that I turn to the orc. Because the orc and I still have a dinner date. And I just smile at the orc and go, "So, I'm very sorry for not showing up at your ship last night. I attempted, but I was urgently requested elsewhere. My apologies."
He
Wasn't-
simply just nods.
Wasn't the dinner thing
It was to be.
cancelled, delayed from their side as well?
Oh yeah, fair.
Yeah.
In that case, the sentence wouldn't necessarily be apologizing, but merely acknowledging it and hoping for a new date, basically.
He simply nods and goes, I believe we can make arrangements. And then he looks back at the Lord and goes, I must state that Hathad cannot budge on these terms. We will need a decision, or we will need your word going forward that it will not leave here. And then he's going to look across at the Shayak and then go, with your leave, I will attend to some other matters. It seems like this particular debate has not gotten any further. And he's going to just turn and leave. The orcs that are with him are going to gather up and follow him out. And the Lord's just going to sit back down in his chair. He's going to glance up at you and go, well, that's at least given me a breather.
You're very welcome. And I just smirk and salute him.
The orcs make their way past the Shayak. Like, on purpose, you see them go, like, really close. And a shout comes as a Shayak near the diplomat half pulls a blade before another sort of grabs his arm and slams the blade back into its sheath. And an orc just turns to face him laughing and flips off a rather rude gesture as they walk out.
So that's at least half of the group's gone.
The diplomat's going to glance back up in your direction, and then that group's going to make their way out.
I'm going to blow a kiss after them.
Most of them seem to be ignoring you, but there is a woman at the back of the group who just watches you do that. You don't see her make any reaction, however.
Aw. Good. So, with that, I wait until they leave the room completely. And then I turn to Alara, as well as the Lord, and I go, so, I have an educated guess as to what item they might be after. Am I wrong?
As to why they want it, neither of those groups has been truly honest with me, and to be fair, our dearest companion here has also been rather tight-lipped on the subject.
Ah.
And Alara's just going to smile and go, I've told you the truth. I did not steal it from either of them.
Silas sort of holds back a chuckle. A slight smirk like plays around the sides of his mouth, and he just goes, "Huh. So they are rather focused on this trivial item, it seems."
Alara sighs and goes, hardly trivial.
I know, but I may have a plan that might get their attention elsewhere, towards something more productive.
That in itself will be useful. I'm getting rather tired of house arrest. No offense, and she glances back at the Lord and go, your house is exceptionally nice after all.
I smirk and go, well, give me a few days and then I may have those groups distracted. Just hold on and don't give it to either of them.
Oh, they will get it over my dead body.
See, that's what I expected. And seeing as I don't plan on you dying anytime soon, that sounds perfectly fine.
Well, I'm glad at least one more person in this city has my interests and heart.
Oh, you know I do.
She just smirks.
He then goes, well, there's actually two matters what I came here for. One of which being that it was brought to my attention that you were looking for me, and I turned to the captain of the Mistraids.
The captain has basically leaned up against the back wall and had been scowling at everyone in the room. Once they've left, she's still been leaning against it, but the scowl's faded. And she nods.
It's turned more into a grin, I guess.
She nods at in your direction and goes, indeed, I believe that you're owed payment from the crown. I will make sure that happens, but unfortunately I was not aware of where to deliver it to.
You can get it delivered to the Pitaya, but the only person that can get the payment, that can receive the payment, should be my quartermaster. His name is... And then I think for a second. And then Timo also thinks for a second. What was it again? Because I forgot to take a note.
Sylph.
Okay, noted. And then I go, his name is Sylph. He is the quartermaster of the Pitaya. And if it could be paid out either to him or to me, that would be perfect.
The captain nods and goes, I have a budget. I'll make certain that your payment is sent as soon as possible. You should have it within the day.
That sounds wonderful. And then I turn to the Lord once more and I go, about payments and rewards, it came to my understanding that, well, first off, the books have I've gained some books with knowledge about your ships, for which I sincerely thank you.
The Lord smiles and goes, of favours for those that have done service to us, it's a small one at best. You do have my thanks.
There's actually a minor request that I'd have, if your lordship would be okay with it.
If it's within my power to grant, I'm happy to, if anything, for just removing those pests from my presence.
Well, I was wondering if it would be okay if the Pitaya would get a flag of Jinra, so that whenever we work in your name, we can fly your colors as well.
He thinks for a bit, and the captain steps forward and goes, I believe this is something that even the crown can support. And the Lord looks to her and then looks back and says, indeed, I believe that we can make arrangements for that.
That would be wonderful. And after that, I guess, seeing as Silas has already been pointed to the ward for his possible, more magical sources.
Yep.
He then goes, well, thank you very much. I'm glad I could get you a breather, my lord.
He sort of slouches back onto his chair and goes, in all honesty, I think all the thanks are mine. At least until tomorrow.
If you manage to hold on for a day or two, I reckon that they'll be much too busy to continue this.
He's going to look at you and go, if it's all the same to you, please don't spark anything violent in my city. I've already had enough problems with that already.
He just smirks and goes, "It's as if you read my mind. I intend to steer them clear from the city before any violence occurs."
He nods and goes, make sure it is the case. And then he turns to look at Alara and goes, it appears that your presence is no longer required to deal with our lovely house guests. You're free to do as you please, young lady. And then he is going to push himself out of his chair and go, you're welcome to stay in the halls as long as you require. I have some other business that I can attend to now that I'm no longer having to deal with that. And he just gestures back towards the others.
Yeah, the best of luck to you. And then I whisper to Alara, I was wondering, would you be willing to bring me to the ward of the Lord, to the girl?
So Alara is just going to nod and go, at the very least, it will be away from any other prying eyes.
I'll make sure that you're protected and not by necessarily your own personal guards, so that you have some room for yourself to think.
She just smiles and goes, of course. Let's go find Pyrrha, shall we?
That was the name. Says Silas.
She just elbows you. It's like, what the hell did your family pay for? It's like, she just mutters under her breath. It's like, they pay that much for your education, you can't even remember a damn name.
The brain is full. See, every time I remember a name, I forget something else. And he just, like, sticks out his tongue.
She's going to laugh and then lead you out. So you will walk through a couple of the corridors up to what you now recognize as the guest quarters, where Alara has been staying. And she knocks on a door, and a very familiar voice shouts that you are welcome to enter. She opens the door, and you see the young elf girl, Pyrrha, standing by a desk reading from a book.
Hello.
She closes the book, turns to face you, and goes, oh, welcome. I wasn't aware that we had additional guests in the halls.
I was only there for a short while to protect the Lord from any more shouting. And he just smirks.
She smiles and goes, he's been needing that a lot apparently lately. And what brings you coming to visit myself? And then she sort of looks past you and goes, is that dwarf with you as well?
Well, not right now. Right now I am on my own. But, wait, out of character quickly, I believe there was something that you asked Alara to tell the dwarf, right, Mug? Or to the girl?
Yes.
So there was no request for me to say anything.
Mug had passed on a message for Alara to pass on to it.
Okay.
She will have done that. Yeah, she will have done that overnight.
Okay, yeah, so there's no reason for Silas to assume that he has to pass on a message at this point in time.
You're aware that Alara should have already done
it? No, he's not here right now. I believe he should be back at the ship or whatever he plans on doing for the rest of the day.
She is silent for a moment and just goes, "Ah, shame." And then
Yeah,
goes,
sorry. I'll send him your way when I see him.
her eyes light up and goes, "Oh, that would be wonderful. Is there anything I can help you with?"
Well, actually, yes. I was sent your way because apparently you can help me further in what I'm trying to find. I have some designs for improvements of my gear, and I'd very much like to talk with someone who's capable of helping out with the magical part of the construction.
Her eyes widen and she goes, "You're after an artificer."
That, if you know one, that would be perfect.
"I know of one or two, but unfortunately, we haven't had the privilege of an artificer here in, well, Port Lilith for decades at best. I do know of one or two that are still operating in Jinnereth, but I could reach out to my teachers at the academy and see if there are any operating out here in the frontier."
If if that would be possible, that would be wonderful to gain uh, even a remote chance of any that operate in the area. It would help me out massively on these plans.
She nods and goes, "It will take me a few days, but I can reach out and see if I can get any information." And then she thinks for a moment and smiles and goes, "And..." She then stops and looks at Alara and goes, "Would you mind shutting the door, Alara? There's something I wish to speak to you both of, if we have some relative privacy." Alara's going to stick her head out the door, glance around, and then slam it shut. The young elf girl is going to step forward and say, "If I receive any news, I can get it to you via our dwarven friend.
Oh,
No matter where you are."
Ooh.
that would be wonderful. Am I allowed to talk to our dwarven friend about this, or should I not mention it until you plan to use it?
She cocks her head to the side for a bit and goes, "It's probably something that I should discuss with him directly."
I'd specifically not want to ruin your surprise for him.
She just smiles and goes, "Oh, that would be an awesome idea."
I sort of smirk and go, however, if you're using the opportunity, maybe make sure that he listens to at least Haldir and me. If only a little bit, that would help. And I just look at her with like the puppy dog eyes pleading.
"I'll do the best I can."
Yes, I understand no promises at this specific point.
She's then going to step back to the desk and rummage through papers and books and go, "Right, so I'm going to need..." And then she looks back to the two of you and goes, "It's going to take me some time to gather everything I need. I'm going to... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to rush off and gather all this up if I'm going to get this in time for you."
Do you happen to know any vendors that sell anything to do with the magical in here?
She shakes her head and goes, "Anything that I require, I get given to me, well, when they can get it via ships from the academy. But it's few and far between. And to my knowledge, there's no vendors within the city."
Ah, shame. Thank you for your help anyway.
she's just going to smile and go, please, don't think me yet. This is... I'll see...
Well, even just the attempt helps me out so much already.
She gives a very brief and polite curtsy and then rushes off to a bookcase and starts reefing out more papers as if she's looking for stuff. And then stops, looks at Alara and goes, Lady Alara, you wouldn't mind sending up a couple of the servants? I think I'm going to need a great deal of supplies from the labs. Alara's just going to politely nod and step out into the corridor. She holds the door open and gives you a sort of...
Silas is gonna also leave the girl to do her things.
Alara will lead you down a couple of corridors and get the attention of the nearest servant she can find and send them with some strict instructions to go to the ward's aid. And then she'll turn to you and say, is there anything else you need here in the halls, or is the rest of the day yours?
I don't have any plans for the rest of the day yet. The only plans I have for the rest are some light shopping, maybe. Care to join me?
She's going to think for a moment and go, I'll be down with it, yes. I need to get out of these walls.
Sounds like a good idea.
So she'll follow you out, but she'll stop at one point and speak to one of the guards. And as you get to the main entryway, there are 4 heavily armored elves waiting. And one of them salutes Alara as the two of you approach.
Nice.
She just sighs and gives you a glance and goes, just to make sure that I don't wind up drugged in on a ship that I don't recognize.
Ah, so you wouldn't mind dragged on our ship? He just smirks.
She looks at you, looks at the armored knights and goes, he's joking. And then she just delivers a punch into your shoulder.
Silas just looks and goes, I very much deserve that.
And at this stage, I'm going to bounce back to Verity and Whisp, who have rushed back to the ship looking for a certain dragon.
The ship's not on fire, right?
Absolutely has not done anything wrong because he's a golden boy, quite literally.
Where was he last at?
The bedroom, he was still sleeping.
Sleeping in the bedroom, yeah.
Okay.
So, can I get you both rolling perception rolls?
Oh.
Oh, there was a question about the dragon that I was wondering.
Yep.
Is there a tell? Is there anything that shows that's out of character? Of course, Silas wouldn't know, but is there a tell that shows that it is the dragon if it is in, for example, dog form?
Nope.
Or is it just a completely?
It would just be a very good doggo.
As far as you can tell, when you see it in any of its animal forms, it just looks like an exact copy of that animal.
Damn.
Right.
Maybe get Fen like a collar.
So
he does not deserve to have to go around in a collar. That's just rude.
Make it a collar with
Just
a
a
bell.
necklace.
Make it a collar with a bell so that he can help you with the getting the rounds for morning practice.
I mean, he sleeps during that. That's very helpful.
Right. Oh.
People might think he's a string if he's by himself without a collar.
It's only when you're running up the gangway back onto the ship that you hear the shouting and chaos.
Oh no.
I'm sure it's something else. That's probably fine.
Aww.
And as you get back up onto the deck, what you see is a plate of food rushing around the deck as if it's just hovering about a foot off the ground, slopping food in every direction, leaving a trail behind it, occasional bits just floating up just above it and vanishing.
And get over here right now.
People are just watching this.
The crew have been there's a number of crew rushing around after it. The chef is beside himself. And he just looks across, like his eyes lock across the deck at Verity and goes, I don't care what religion you practice. Get down in those kitchens and exercise the hell out of them.
Okay, got it.
Just skids to a halt in midair and just sort of hovers.
Fen.
Another tiny bit of food just floats up and vanishes.
Fen go invisible?
Apparently.
I didn't think so, but apparently, I don't know.
See, this is a very young and inexperienced dragon, Mama.
I know less about dragons than almost anyone. I just have one. That's the difference.
The only thing is, you're
Does
supposed
Fen
to know
actually
stuff.
come over to me?
The plate slowly hovers across to you.
Fen, can you please take a form that the rest of us can see? That'd be great.
Are you sure about that?
Full-on dragon mode.
Oh boy.
Almost like instantly, you find yourself looking at a very small monkey that's holding a plate in one hand and just shoveling food in with his mouth with the other hand.
Yes.
Well, yeah, an invisible monkey that can suddenly appear. That's normal.
See, we have a blink monkey.
It's fine. It's
Better
fine.
than-
How bad are the damages? I just turned and asked.
Oh.
The chef is just staring at this monkey, at the plate, and then at you, and goes,
I'm just gonna pretend like this is completely normal.
Yeah, this is not weird. It's you that's weird.
Yeah, like, and?
He just looks at you, Verity, for the longest time and goes, you keep that thing out of my kitchen.
Oh.
I mean, he's going to get hungry. And he's... Can you not handle a monkey? We already have one.
And he's just going to go red and white and then purple and goes, the other one doesn't turn blazing invisible, and then storms back into the ship.
Wait, we have an actual monkey?
Yeah, you don't know that.
Verity's gonna look to Fen and be like, was that really necessary? You could have just asked. You would have gotten food.
You left a baby dragon by itself, Hen. What was it supposed to do?
I'm sorry? I don't know. I'm not used... I mean, I guess I am used to taking care of other creatures, but this...
It's a baby. You can't leave them by themselves for long. An hour maybe, but not like an entire day. Which begs the question, I wonder whether its mum's going to show up. Just saying.
I haven't thought of that. Is that a normal?
What?
Have I kidnapped a baby dragon? Should I be worried?
Yes.
Wait, can we ask Haldir this? Is Haldir there?
Thought he was in an armor shop.
shopping.
Haldir,
okay.
yeah, you haven't seen Haldir or Monk return.
We'll ask Haldir when we see him. He knows about dragons.
Mm-hmm. We'll get lunch after
Fen,
the shopping trip.
Are you finished eating?
He scoots up, like literally just climbing up your clothes, so that he's now level with you. He pops like one last bit of grape into his mouth, and then he holds one out to you.
Okay, I will eat the grape, and I'll take the... Like, is the plate now empty, or...?
The plate looks like it's empty, and whatever else that was on it's probably spread around the deck.
Yes. I'm just gonna turn to a random crewmate, and like hand over the plate, and I don't know what the value of. Still don't know the value of gold. So is 2 gold a lot of gold? I don't know what is
2
gold.
silver would suffice. Trust me, I've
I'm
made that
just gonna
mistake.
flip over a gold coin and be like, just fix it, please.
The crewmate looks at you, looks at the plate, looks at the gold, and goes, "Aye, aye, on it." And then he immediately just rounds up another crewmate, and they start cleaning off like the decking. One of them eventually.
I mean,
then
I
heads on down
realize,
below.
like, I'll turn back to Wisp, and like, I realize they probably would have to do it anyway, but also I don't necessarily want the crew to hate me more than half of them already do.
I don't think it's you they hate, dear.
Oh, I meant for the morning wake-ups. No, for that.
Alright, okay.
Then
I think it'll take a lot more than that.
As you're saying that, the monkey just like mimics the shaking of a bell.
I'll just like pat him on the head and be like, yes, could join us for morning if you want to. You don't have to, dear. It's fine. You can hit the bell if you want in the mornings. That would be fun.
His
just
eyes
get him like a
light
collar
up.
of a bell on it.
The second
We
you
could do
mention
that.
collar, he looks at you, Wisp, and sticks his tongue out.
It's for safety, you cheeky thing.
I mean, it won't help. Wait, can you go invisible with things on you? Because the plate didn't go invisible.
Maybe we can get an enchanted one? I mean, they must do if, like, the grown-up dragons can turn invisible, armor and all that, surely.
He just looks at the two of you and shrugs.
Like, I don't know, I just do.
I'm a baby dragon. What did you
I
expect from me?
What do you expect from me? I eat, I poop. I go invisible. All of these things are equally
You
natural.
can speak and write Elvish, though, that's the thing.
Yes, oh boy. I mean, you can speak common too, or understand common. I still need to actually learn Elvish.
Can dragons learn to speak?
Don't think they have the necessary.
But, like, if they transform into something with vocal cords, like a raven or something.
Or just a monkey, right? A monkey should be able to do it.
He flicks into a bird form. Very, very brightly coloured.
Parrot!
Parrot!
Parrot.
He's your pirate parrot. Shape-shifting golden dragon parrot.
I was like, okay, how do you feel about joining us for walking around the town a little bit? You have to stay in one form though, unless something, happens.
The parrot squawks, walk.
It squawks walk?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Oh, your first word, how cute.
Wisp, be nice.
I was praising him!
Didn't
Side
sound
are
like
you
it,
on?
but okay.
The parrot
let's...
dances on Verity's shoulder and just goes cute, cute.
You're adorable. Okay, let's go. And I guess we leave with the baby dragon this time. No leaving baby dragon on ship. Makes crew not very happy.
Well, at least without explaining.
Come on, it's a baby. Fine.
Yes, but see, the crew didn't know that there was a dragon on the ship.
You still don't know.
They still don't know. You're just an invisible monkey. That's natural. Normal.
Can we train the monkey to have a character class or a specialization? because I kind of want to give the monkey the spider ward so that it can now walk on ceilings as well.
The monkey's specialization is dragon.
This monkey has fighting levels in dragon.
I just love the idea of like it has the special class dragon, which means that it randomly like opens its mouth and just like dragon breath. You're like, yeah, and then goes invisible. Just like, yeah, is this not?
Oh, I want to see what happens if it's invisible and tries to breathe fire. Is it just a random flamethrower?
Oh boy.
Wisp and Verity make their way back towards the markets. I will say roughly around this time you will see actually come out the other gate a group of knights in heavy armor escorting both Silas and Alara in your direction. And at this stage, I will jump back to Haldir and Mug, who have made their way following the directions they got given and found themselves at the back of a warehouse where a door's been sort of left casually open, and there is a scruffy human male just sitting, scratching a beard and smoking a pipe. And he squints at the two of you as you make your way up the alley.
Oh, is this the place they sell it, Haldir?
The directions led here, so who knows what these guys might sell us.
Oh.
The human...
Oh, wait. You know what we are getting.
Well, I know what I want, but if they have it, that's another issue entirely.
I mean, if they don't have it, then... Yeah, we'll sort it out, right?
The
And
human
Mug is,
man
like, grinning.
scratches at his beard, which almost seems like it's a bit patchy at spots, and he spits on the ground, takes another puff from his pipe, and then says, "You two buying or selling?"
Buying. If you have spellstones.
Ah. I can see what we can rummage up.
And it better be good.
And he's going to duck into the warehouse, and he's going to come out and...
While he goes into the warehouse, Mug is like,
Haldir, what kind of stone is this? Is this a very shiny stone?
This is a stone that could store magic. So instead of me having to get real tired, and I can get a spirit to live in that stone and use that one to cast the magic for me.
Right. It's when you go shiny and there is like...
And when I throw lightning, yes.
Yeah, lightning. Yeah, that sort of stuff. Okay,
Thunderbolts and
cool.
lightning, very, very frightening.
Frightening me, Galileo,
Yeah.
Galileo. Pick that
So
up.
what you're saying is this stone is going to make more lightning.
Generally, yes.
Good. Okay, so we make sure we get the shiniest stone that makes the most lightning. Okay, cool.
Haldir just gives a pat on Mug's shoulder. Just let me do the dealing, and if I need your help, I'll say so, okay?
Okay. And Muggy's just looking around for interesting things.
So the man comes back out and sits back down, and a halfling comes trotting out with a crate that he puts on the ground and opens up, and he puts the lid to a side, and then he steps off to the side. The man, puffing away again on his pipe, pulls it out just long enough to use it to point at the crate and says, "What items of magical interest we have, you'll find in there."
Let's have a look then. Haldir walks over to the box, opens the lid.
Mug is going over as well.
So inside you see that the base of this crate has been layered with some cloth. There's a pouch with a arcane symbol sewed into it. There is also sitting just loose in there 3 glowing stones. And sort of bundled up and tied with a piece of rope appears to be at first glance it almost looks like a just piece of cloth, but at a closer glance you can see that it's almost like got stitching along the outer edge that makes it look like it might be some form of clothing.
Haldir starts by taking the cloth and tries to see how big it is.
The one tied up with rope.
Mm-hmm.
So it's roughly 1 Haldir sized.
You undo the small cord that's tying it together, and it collapses open, revealing it to be a large black cloak.
Oh.
And when you look carefully at it, there is woven into the edges arcane symbols. The entire thing is black, made of almost a silky material.
Oh.
Haldir looks at it a bit, gives a nod, and then looks to the pouch.
So, opening up the pouch, you see a blue powder.
Looks up at the man. What's this then?
He glances at the pouch and then gives you a grin and goes, something we got from those Reskins. They use it for war paint. It's got an interesting property. I've seen a man wearing no shirt take a hit that, frankly, I wouldn't have been wanting to wear leather armor when I've been receiving.
Wait, are you saying that's shiny armor? It doesn't look like shiny armor.
It's definitely gonna make you able to take more hits, Mug.
The man just grunts and says, "Depends on how much faith you want to put in it, but the Reskins swear by it."
Okay, can we test it out? Because I can punch real hard.
Maybe you can test it out on Silas later. How much for the entire box?
The man's eyes widen slightly and then he grins and goes, "For the whole box, you say?"
Mm-hmm.
He
Silence.
leans back and he sort of taps the tip of his pipe against his lips as he's thinking, and goes, that'd be most of our stock, to be fair. I'll give you the lot of it for 45 gold.
Wait, is that the entire box as in all of the magical items?
All the items that are in that box, yeah, he'd give you for 45 gold.
Wow.
Oh, Haldir, I know this. That's more than what my armor is going to cost. Do we have enough for that?
Yes, Mug, we do.
Okay, good.
And
So we're getting all the shiny.
Haldir looks at him and like, usually I would start bargaining right about now, but and then he just looks at the warehouse and how scruffy he looks and like, I have a feeling haggling with you guys is not gonna give me anywhere.
Oh, wait. You know what? Would you also like a free hammer? And Mug brings out that magical hammer.
Are you selling that shit for free?
The
I know, Mug.
guy's eyes narrow and he looks at the hammer and he just looks at you, Mug, and goes, you want to just give that to us?
Mug, no.
I don't know.
Here, let me give me the hammer.
Okay, but it's not like I need this hammer, Haldir.
Correct, which is why we're gonna exchange this hammer for this box of
Okay.
items.
So Mug, do you hand the hammer over?
I hand the hammer over to Haldir, yes.
Alright, Haldir, can you roll a willpower?
Yes, I can.
Oh boy, this will be fun.
That would be 14 with 4 stun points.
Noted.
So I guess I could get a focus and get +2.
Yeah. So you get the hammer and you feel that like an actual magical presence from it that almost fills you with dread, but all you feel is that sense of unease.
Haldir looks at the scruffed man like, so, is that a deal? Hammer for the box.
He narrows his eyes at it and goes, and how do I know that's not just a hammer you've picked up from somewhere around here? And then he's gonna go, wait here. And he looks at the halfling, who quickly rushes back into the warehouse before coming out with another 2 halflings and a elf. The elf steps forward and just sees the proffered hammer and gets a nod from the human man, who then leans back and just watches the entire thing through squinted eyes. And the elf reaches out and just mutters something very softly under their breath and touches the hammer with a fingertip.
As soon as he's about to touch the hammer, Haldir like pulls back, like, oh, no. This is a gamble in your part. If you don't believe it's magical, Mug, why don't you swing your sword a few times? Show them the other thing you found in the sewer.
Oh yeah. This was with the hammer, and Mug takes out his bastard sword and to show them and to swing it around just so they see the glow of it.
So the elf staggers backwards in shock as this blade just gets whipped out in front of him. Haldir, out of the corner of your eyes, you see that both the halflings have pulled daggers and sort of flanked around behind you lot.
Haldir just holds out a hand towards the halflings that are like behind him at this point, like easy.
And the human is now just glaring at you and Mug. It just grunts at the elf and go, well? And the elf picks himself back up and just nods and goes, yeah, they're the real feel, real stuff. And then he goes, that all you need me for, boss? The human just waves and he just rushes back inside. And then he looks back at you and goes, we'll take it.
Haldir puts down the hammer and picks up the box. Just nice doing business with you. And starts walking back the other way. Come on, Mug.
Yeah, let's go. That was a good deal. We didn't even pay gold. And I didn't need that hammer.
Indeed. It was a very good deal.
So you start walking away with the box in hand. Can I both get a perception roll out of both of you?
Seeing?
Hearing.
Hearing.
So you're going to step around a corner, heading back towards the main drag of shops.
Ooh. Wait, is a perception is one where you don't... Can you get stunts on it?
You can get stunts. So you can pick up a focus that you don't have. So, for example, if you don't have hearing, depending on how many stunt points you got.
Okay, yeah. So I would get like 4 stunt points on this.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's probably going to succeed anyway, so I might as well pick up some other. So okay, so I pick up extra 2, and it's perception, isn't it? Which.
Yep.
Let me see what my perception value is, but I think it's +1. Come on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so for a 4, you can basically use the resources at hand to get a focus that you don't have.
Oh my god, this is not good because Haldir won't necessarily hear this. And why?
No,
Right,
this
yeah.
is great.
Why?
No,
This is
Haldir
great.
does not hear this. Mug does. Mug, you've heard this sound before.
Oh.
You hear the sound of a skull getting crushed.
Oh! Mug turns in the direction and looks for the fight. Very interestedly.
Yeah, there is no other sounds that follow that.
Which direction did it come from? Or does he not know?
You're able to tell that it came from behind you the way you came.
Oh. So Mug turns around and goes, are they fighting now? But...
What? I didn't hear anything. Come on, Mug.
Yeah, but they're... Yeah. Do you think they have a pit fight in there? Because I'm sure I heard someone.
Heard them fighting? Maybe the boss got angry at the elf for trying to run away after you showed them how big and strong you are.
Yeah, they better not be hiding a pit from me because they were just merchants. Merchants don't usually have pits, do they?
I've definitely never met a merchant that had a pit.
Yeah. Okay. So we are going back to the ship, because I mean I heard.
Yeah, I think so.
From what I heard, I think they are having a fight. But like, if you don't care, let's go back.
Well, let's go back. I need to look at these gems.
Oh yeah. Let's figure out what they can do.
So you'll make your way back out onto the main street by this point. The only other thing I'll check is Silas. You will see Verity and Whisp heading into the market ahead of you. Do you just follow in with your escort detail?
Yep.
Noted.
I promised Alara some alone time, which doesn't work with 4 nights, but closest thing, right?
She seems completely accepting of the fact that she's being followed around by 4 clanking individuals.
Fair enough. If she ain't saying anything, I won't.
As you do notice that as you do go up towards the market district, and you obviously go past both the Hathad and the Shayak ships, she does glance in the direction of the Shayak one, and just give a cheery wave.
Silas will have one hand on his pistol and just smile.
There is a couple. You do see a couple people pointing in the general direction of a lot of you.
Is that lady there again that noticed my hand kiss?
You do see, as the crew are pointing in the general direction of the lot of you heading up towards the market, you do see her approach the railing of the one of the Shayak vessels, and she is standing there watching you.
I'll blow her another kiss. Just to annoy her.
Noted.
And I'll actually say that to Alara as well, that it's just to annoy her.
She leans in close and goes, "Good, because otherwise I'd have to kill you."
I know.
Just double checking time-wise, how are people going?
I could do about half an hour at most, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll keep that in mind. So, Verity and Whisp, with your new Parrot in tow, you're going to effectively reach the main gate of the market at the same time as Silas and the others. Or, well, just ahead of them.
Shopping list. Am I better just like sending you a list?
Yeah, you can just pop me a list of things and I can work out whether the market has them available or not.
Yeah, I'm probably better than that then.
Not a problem. So you're going to make your way into the market, and I'll give you some time to work out that list. You can be pondering where's the closest shop in the meantime. Silas and Alara are going to come on in. The two of the knights are just going to wait at the entrance to the district, and the other two are going to step a more respectable distance back as the two of you then enter the market district.
Thank you.
And I'll say at this stage as well, you do see a mug and a Haldir, mug carrying a giant crate, just come trotting back from the other direction.
I'll give them a wave.
Get Silas.
Hi guys. We made some really good deals.
Ah, well done.
Yeah.
That's great.
I got rid of that stupid hammer.
Yeah, and we got some way more useful stuff for it.
See, that sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, and like Haldir is also getting me armor.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he arranged it for me. I mean, I'm paying for it, but it was a small amount of my piles of money, so it wasn't a very large pile of money. It wasn't all my money.
That's great.
Definitely not. So, Verity and Wisp has joined us as well.
Have we not? No,
Yep.
I am super fucking confused.
Just to make sure.
Yep, you're all
completely.
you basically all
Because,
come into the main street of the market district at
Yeah.
the same time. So whether you've actually approached.
If you guys can just wait a moment while Mark put down the crate.
Yeah, sure.
And Haldir opens it and takes out the black cloak and tosses it to Wisp.
What?
If this is what I think it is, then you're gonna be the one that's gonna get the most use out of this.
What, you just chucked me? I was writing and not paying attention. Sorry.
Oh, well, wait. Am I punching her now?
What?
We need to try it out.
I used the
no,
cloak
no,
like a
no,
brawl
no.
tonight.
You just got given a cloak of being punched by mugs.
Total,
No.
total.
The cloak wasn't what needed to be tested at some point.
What?
That was Wisp,
Yeah,
here's
we
a
need
new
to test
cloak
it
for you.
works.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be more useful for you than for the rest of us.
Oh.
I
So,
think.
am I punching her or not?
No.
Here's the bag of dust. Silas, if you use this, apparently you'll be able to be more like better to shrug off blows than you else would.
And
So
specifically, how certain are you of this before I get my guts punched out of me?
well,
We
do
need to
that
test
test
it.
It's
Yeah.
wall paint. It's apparently supposed to make you stronger. It is magical.
Mm-hmm.
Does my military lore say anything about the use of a war paint that actually works?
Can I get you to roll a intelligence using your law military?
This is part what I paid attention in class, I guess. Triple fives.
Okay.
And that is
Very good.
plus intelligence, which is 4. I think, yeah, 4 plus military lore, so that's plus a total of 6.
Yep.
And that makes 15 plus 6 is 21, I guess.
Okay. You're specifically going to remember a lot about this because you remember that there was whole treatises written about whether this was a real thing or whether it was just a excuse that armorers came up with why Reskin armor was so good. But there were some that believed that Reskins would apply a magic or magically enhanced war paint underneath their armor before going into battle, which had a impact in making their soldiers a lot more sturdy.
So there's actual background stating that this sort of thing would exist.
Yeah, so regardless of whether people believed it worked or not, there is plenty of evidence that you're aware of that Reskins actually applied war paint underneath their armors.
Fair enough. In that case, I'm going to go, you know what? For 5 gold, I'll actually try it. I'm not getting punched for free again.
Oh, so I can punch him now?
No, first I get paid and then I get punched.
Here's the paint, Silas. You can use it, and Mug can do his thing. I just need these gems.
Okay, so I guess once Silas is ready, Mug is like stretching and getting ready for a really big punch.
So Alara's now got a smile playing across her face, and she's actually going to hold her hand out to the pouch and go, "Do you mind if I help?"
Not at all.
So she's going to get some of the powder, and she just summons a little bit of water and mixes it into a paint, which she then applies like in sigils across Silas's face. Since he can't see what she's doing, on one of his cheeks, she's drawing a smiley face. And then she's going to...
This is a reminder once again of how I can never be a serious pirate while these people are around.
She then steps back, well out of Mug's way.
Okay, so yeah. Do I get any extra for like a really well prepared big?
You can aim.
I guess that would be an aim.
Yeah, you can roll an aim.
So yeah, so that would be +1 for aim.
Yep. So Silas, you do add a +1 to your armor class.
Ooh.
Oh damn! I didn't roll very high, so this is probably not going to be.
Meaning the paint actually worked.
Yeah. So +1 for aim, right? Yeah. So this is not going to work because this is 12.
Yep.
Total.
Yee, that doesn't work.
So, Mug, you swing your hand back and throw a punch. As you hit Silas, you see the paint actually flashes and glows, and it almost feels like you punched armor.
Oh. Mug is like steps back, going, "Oh, oh my God! Silas is now magical. What did this thing do?"
It did what we were told. It was gonna help shrug off blows.
Okay, but I better keep punching until it wears off, so Silas doesn't glow all the time. and
No, 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 no,
to
no,
try
no,
again.
no, no, no. Silas is actually going to look at one of the knights with pleading eyes.
The knight's going to look at Alara, look at Mug, look at you, Silas, and shrug and take a step back.
Oh, I'm so going to get him fired. I want to speak to his manager.
You just see him grin and go, and then Alara's he's just going to look at Alara and go, "My lady, if you step back, I believe we're here for your protection." There's a lot of emphasis on your.
Okay, so second punch. Or are you still trying to persuade Mug?
Well, I don't think actually talking to Mug works. It has never worked before, so I feel like I shouldn't even try.
Oh my gosh, he's going to get angry because I didn't roll well.
Paint is working
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, because even with aim, yeah, yeah. This is actually going to be one lower, so this is going to be 11 total.
Yeah, no.
So Mug, you get you step in and throw another punch, and Silas, you feel the impact, but once again the light glows on these sigils. Haldir, from your viewpoint, you get a nice look at the glowing rune of a smiley face on his cheek.
Mug is like, oh no, Silas! I'm going to save you from this horrible paint. Don't worry. That person on your face is not going to hurt you. And then Mug tries to punch the smiley again.
Haldir's just nodding approvingly because this paint works.
Okay, so I think Mug is
There's
just
now
going
a
until...
holy belief in Silas that this shit works. And my knowledge said that this came from Reska, right?
Yep.
Okay. So +4 +1. Okay. This time, Mug gets a 14.
That ties my score, so that just about hits.
Haha.
Yep. So you will actually
I'm
hit on this
thinking,
one.
yeah, and Mug was aiming at exactly the smiley face that Alara put on to try to get it off.
If I shoot with an aim shot that specifically tries to hit a spot such as that,
yeah,
that lowers my roll.
By how much? Or...
Well, I've rolled at disadvantage before because I tried to shoot at a specific spot.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Although,
I
to
will
be
roll
fair,
at
you've been
disadvantage.
targeting with cannons before as well.
Yeah.
Yes, but I've also had that on my sniper, which is meant to do the thing.
Okay. So for the other one,
just to protect my face.
That's fine.
I mean, Mug will keep trying anyway. But
At some point, Silas will be done with being punched. And at that point, well, you know what happens.
Oh damn! Yeah. So this is 13. So almost.
So
okay.
Mug basically aims specifically for the face. Silas, you actually feel his fist make contact with your face.
Yes.
But you expect it to hurt, and it doesn't.
Oh my god.
I'll just grin and go, Ha! This stuff really works.
No, oh, I will save you from it. Shouts Mug.
No, stop it.
Mug, here's the thing. It's still paint. We can
No,
wash
I
it
will
off.
get it off. I will get it off now. Okay.
No.
Yes, Alara, would you please wash Silas?
Alara just
okay.
grins.
So I think Mug is finally getting better rolls.
Wait. But Mug, at this point,
Yeah.
Silas will actively step back towards Alara because she's gonna wash it off.
Just one last time.
No.
So
I wanted this.
Silas, you
Damn it, just let me do it.
you take a few steps towards Alara, away from Mug. Haldir, you see the smirk across Alara's face as she just raises a hand, clutches the amulet at her neck, and a blast of water smashes into Silas.
So is that when Mug is going to punch at him?
So
And now the
Silas,
+1 is gone as well.
yeah, but you get knocked
And
to the
he's
side.
actually he's also getting a decent roll now, even with disadvantage.
Oh.
So that's the roll with disadvantage. So it's the 15, I assume.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that will be a hit even with the fact that Alara's knocked Silas.
And because it's a disadvantage, it will hit where the smiley used to be.
Exactly. So you'll hit the smiley just as it's being washed away. So
Right
it
in
will
the
properly
kisser.
get smeared away.
So, Silas, you get hit by a blast of water that washes your face and knocks you staggering, and as your eyes clear from the water, you see Mug's fist appear.
So I guess I roll damage now.
Yep.
It's okay. It's only minimum damage, so only 6 points. And Mug is like, yes, Silas, you are saved now from the evil men on your face.
Silas pulls out the flaming dagger,
Oh.
and just as he goes to stab, Mug says that he was trying to save him, and Silas just goes, you know what? I'll not do this. And he just puts the dagger away and just rubs his cheek and walks off.
I mean, that's good. We saved him before the evil men on his face did anything worse.
Haldir is trying very hard not to laugh this whole episode, but is very happy about that the dust actually worked.
Oh, of course, that's what he's happy about. Not that he's led to Silas being punched repeatedly. And Haldir got away with it because the last person who did that was the twins being shot afterwards.
Okay. Silas agreed that he would be punched, and so he
No.
got punched.
I agreed to being punched for a fee. No one actually paid me.
But you got the dust.
That's not 5 gold though. That's just the dust, which I like and I'm going to keep.
So the gems, are they small enough to be easily pocketable for Haldir?
Yeah, so they're basically, the stones are about the size of a small egg.
Okay.
So Silas is going to storm off and go to the ship, by the way.
Noted.
We're not all gonna have lunch together.
Looks at Alara like, I think we made him mad.
She shrugs and goes, I think he needs to cool off.
Boy, I've done nothing to help her the last several episodes.
Wasn't that what the water was for?
You have helped. But you've also gotten into fights with Mug a lot
That's fights with Mug, which are deserved because Mug keeps punching me out of nothing.
No, it wasn't punching out of nothing. There was always a reason for it. A good reason.
Mm-hmm.
No. Good is very much objective in this case, and it's definitely not
Yes,
to
very
Mug
objective. Not subjective at
No,
all.
subjective.
Objective.
Subjective.
It's very
I'm not
objectively
native
good.
English.
I completely agree that it's very objectively good. That's what you said. And
I
you're
know
not
I'm
getting
not
out of it
native
now.
English and I'm very tired.
That's right. We'll be winding up soon.
I'm getting quite frustrated out of character right now, so I'm gonna take a moment.
Okay, sorry.
All good.
So, Verity,
Yes.
have a look at these, and I take the spell stones.
I'm gonna say ooh, and then roll to see if we can find out what the fuck they are.
So the stones that get pulled out of the box, they are indeed spell stones.
Right. Do I have any? Do I know what the like? I out of character do not know what a spellstone is, but do I
So-
in character know what a spellstone is?
In
Do I
character,
roll-
you are aware of the uses of these things. They specifically are typically made from a very particular type of stone that you know can contain magical energy and allows you to store it, or basically store a spell that you cast into it, and it then later will allow you to then release that spell. And it can indefinitely hold a spell for as long as needed.
Nice.
So I was wondering if you can look at them and see if there's actually anything stored in them so far, or if they're free to use. I would hate to end up having to discharge one of them.
Alright. I will activate my thingy that allows me to see magic.
Noted. From what you can tell, these have not been charged with anything.
No, they're empty.
Wonderful. Here's one for you. I'll keep these two.
Thank you. I'll add a spellstone. Actually, could you cast could you store healing in this? Because I can't actually heal, but I can use one with a healing spell in it, right?
Yep. From what you remember, as long as a spell's been cast on it, any mage can then use it.
Yeah. So I can't do that, but it would be very helpful if I could. So could you potentially do that? And if I have anything that you know that I do that you would like, just tell me. And I will store one of yours. Or both, for that matter.
Or I can. Just give me a moment. I can store some of Boomy's power in your stone.
Perfect.
Also, when you cast your spell to sense magic, you do sense from the cloak that Wisp has magic as well.
Wait, what? Say that again.
So when you cast your spell to identify whether any magic has been cast on the stones, you do sense that the cloak that Wisp is holding that got thrown to her by Haldir is also magical in nature.
Right. Can I identify it? It says I can active magic within 10 yards of you and make perception checks to detect details about it. Usually with a target number equal to the effect spell power or equivalent, including Arcana, spell type, affected area, point of origin. If I have the power Arcana focus, I do. I can add that to my perception check.
Yep. So roll a perception just to work out just what about it is magical.
Perception. I mean, I don't think that's gonna help a lot. Because that's a total of 8 with the thing. So
The only thing
no,
that you
9,
can...
but yeah.
Yeah,
And a stun point, but still.
noted. It's not a type of magic that you've really seen, and you do struggle to kind of make any heads or tails of like what it actually does. The only thing that you can sort of make out is that it only works if the hood is up.
Wisp, can you try to put the cloak on and then take on the hood and off the hood, please?
Would you like to, since I'm already wearing a cloak?
I mean, I can. I think it would be a little bit harder for me to see while I'm doing it myself, but I can check for it. It doesn't look harmful, so
Go for it.
She'll take the cloak and then try to put it on, and then take the hood over, and take the hood back and on and off, basically, to check.
From your perspective, just putting the hood up and down doesn't actually change anything that you can see.
But it only works if the hood is off?
Yep.
What are you doing, Verity?
I'm
You're
pretty
so-
sure this only works with the hood up, but I can't actually see the difference. Do you think you could try it on just for a second? Because it's kind of hard to look at myself.
Sure. I'm pretty sure I know what this is, but I'll amuse you and see if you can figure it out. And then he'll take the cloak and put it on, and then you ready? Puts on the hood.
So when Haldir throws the hood up, it throws his face in the shadows, and it gets a little fuzzy around the edges.
You're better at hiding with it on.
Rack.
Interesting.
I've
It
heard
makes for a very awkward kind of like, it almost looks like the edge of you is misty. It's really quite weird to look at it under with the magic detection activated.
Haldir takes the hood down again. Yeah, I've heard stories about something like this, cloaked in the shadows of night, which was why I thought you might use it, Wisp. You seem to be the one that's best at this to begin with.
We're going to someone who
Verity
probably needs more
nods
help with
and
that
then
kind of
give-
stuff.
Sorry.
Not that I'm not grateful, but like, I'm not exactly like the worst for hiding.
As long as you don't hide your hairdo, it's all good.
Well, since Silas got the powder, you can get the cloak. And everything's good, right?
I mean, if it does help hide someone better, wouldn't it be better going to like someone like Mug, who's loud as anything?
But he's not gonna use it. he doesn't, like, if he understands what it does. Wait, is Mug's like with us right now?
Yeah, Mug is with us,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, I'm
I
here.
think-
I get what a cloak does. I'm not stupid. You put on the cloak and then people don't recognize you. I know what it does. And it keeps you warm as
You
well.
didn't want that, right? You wanted the fancy armor that looked nice. That's so people did look at you.
Yeah, I'm getting armor. We already paid for it.
Well then. It would mean you and Fen would be better hidden.
I mean, Wisp,
Sorry?
if you really don't want it, I can keep it.
How good is your hiding skills? I'm just trying to think if this is more of an advantage thing rather than a gift-giving thing, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to insult you, but, like, at the same time, if it does have that kind of capability, then...
I mean, I can maybe sneak out of a window without making too much noise, but I'll definitely make a lot of noise.
Then you're probably better keeping it, though thank you for the offer.
Okay.
So, why are we dividing all this stuff that, like, we got from selling the hammer?
Because that's gonna be helpful for us later. It's not gonna be helpful if we just keep it in the box, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Now, who's up for lunch?
Oh, food!
Hell yes.
Food sounds good. And then you still have like a whole list of things that you wanted, right?
Yeah, but out of character, Glenn's got back to me on that, so...
Okay, yeah.
So
Lunch is good.
I'll say you'll all head off to find food. Alara will join you. She's actually going to send one of the escorts back after Silas, just to tell him where that you've all gone. Silas, back at the ship, you will find waiting slightly irately one of the mist wraiths who's just standing next to a group of servants and a chest, as he's just leaning, waiting, and drumming his fingers.
As soon as I see that, the first thing I do is I'll approach him and offer my sincere apologies for the delay.
He just nods and goes, "Your payment for services rendered, all accounted for." And he gestures at the chest.
Thank you very much. Can I offer you anything to drink before you go, or do you have to continue on your way?
He just looks at you and goes, "To be honest, if I get caught drinking on duty, the captain will have my balls. I best get on my way."
In that case, yeah, maybe don't take a drink. Good luck, and I'll see you around, I guess. And he just salutes.
The Mist Wraith nods and turns and leaves, and the 4 servants who've carried this chest down bow and all head off too.
Perfect. I give them a bow as well before they leave, and then I'll call someone over from the crew to bring this, for now, to my quarters.
Yep. So some of the crew come down, they lift the chest up, and they drag it up onto the ship and up to your quarters.
After it's there, I'm gonna double check the room and lock it, and then just take place with the crew on the deck and just play cards with a group or something.
Yep. So you'll be playing for a bit when a voice shouts out to one of the crew, and that crew member heads over down the gangway before returning and goes, "Captain, it seems Lady Alara and the others from the crew that went off with you were having lunch in the city. Apparently there's an invite for you."
Silas just smiles and goes, "Well, I'll see you after the game of cards. But thanks for letting me know." And he just walks over to the side of the ship as well, where the messenger is, or messenger escort dude.
Yep.
Night thing. And he just waves and goes, "Well, maybe I'll see you there. Enjoy lunch."
The knight nods and heads on back. So you see him make his way up towards the market district again. I will say that probably now is a good time to wind up this episode until next time.
Sounds good.
So
Yep.
I'll get a yo-ho for the audience here, and then
Oh.
Yo.
Yeah.